Thanks for choosing this video, and if you want to see more like it in the future, subscribe, like, comment, ring the bell, whatever. Helps get the video out, helps me with the algorithm, and helps me make more quality content for you guys. Keep the channel going. So, thanks for watching. Thanks again to all my patrons who make this content possible. They are I'm Westy, Splode, Rouge, and Sid Kada. Thanks again, guys, and if you want to support the channel, head on over to my Patreon and become a patron.
You are now listening to a Light Club exclusive. This is a world premiere. Now make some noise for two bad boys, the real Blazed and Surveillant. This is Light DUBS. And that's a big ass twist.
Welcome, everybody. This is going to be great. This is the podcast, centered around Ret Paladins. Coming in here hot with a Phase 3 drop. We're liking it. It's going to be talking about raids, PvP, any theory, overall hypes for the game, any, current events that we're going to have coming in here. We got Phase 3, the eventual Zulamon, the eventual Sunwell Plateau. Just overall things we're hype about the game. So we're here with myself, we're here with Serv, we're here with Starforce. How you guys doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Star, how about you?
I'm so happy with how that DJ drop turned out.
Yeah, dude. I might need to turn it down a little bit, but like it needs to be. It was absolutely fire for sure, man.
Man, I'll miss it. I'm gonna have to catch you afterwards.
Yeah, dude. I actually quite enjoyed it. So introduce a little bit about ourselves. Myself, I've been playing Ret, probably about 4 or 5 years, hardcore and TBC, played a little bit of private servers, played it on and off, played a little bit of, I have to say it, I played a little bit of Rogue back in my day. It was kind of, a lot. But now I play with Get Carried on Whitemane, and we're doing a little bit of speed running coming into Phase 3, and I'm looking a little hyped for that. So it should be good to go with that. Serv, how about you?
Go to Star real quick. I got a little bit of an echo I'm trying to fix real quick.
Oh, okay. All right. So let's introduce Star a little bit right here, and then we'll go back to Serv here. So Star, how you doing, my man?
Hey, glad to be here. Thanks for having me. This is actually my first expansion playing Ret Pally, so Star, aka Starforce. I play in Bipolar on the Monday-Wednesday raid. Chose to play Ret just in TBC. I was actually hoping two-way twisting was gonna exist, but here we are.
Oh, dude, I feel you on that one.
But,
Go ahead.
Yeah. Prior to that, I mean, I've been playing WoW since basically beta of vanilla way back when. I took a long break out the Wrath of the Lich King, but excited to be back in the cycle and see where it goes.
So you came back for TBC, or were you playing Classic as well?
A little bit of P servers actually. So that I've been rolling with kind of the same group, and then I just joined Bipolar and TBC. So slightly different group, but a lot of similar faces.
Okay. So the reason that you got into Ret for TBC was the two-way.
Yeah, dude, I thought that. So I saw your clips. I was like, man, there's so much more that can be done on Ret with all the squawk buffs and really optimizing all the kills. I thought they were going to be #1 DPS overall with two-way, and we got one way, and sometimes we can hit it, but maybe not every single pull. Playing the lotto.
Yeah, I know. I feel you. The two-way was some insane DPS, man. It was some insane DPS. I think the Asgalore video has definitely gotten a lot of us.
Dude, I still don't know how you pulled that off. So I did fix the audio. I just cut my stream and rated you, so we'll just do that.
Okay.
Because I was trying to full screen your stream, and it's just then I was like, I didn't even think about the echo, so we'll just do that for now and then come back to it next time.
That sounds good. That sounds good. Well, let's. I say we finish with Star here, and we'll jump back into you, Serv. So Star, we got a fun question for you, and I'm sure you've been thinking about this. If you could replace any spec in your raid, what would it be?
Oh, this is hard. It's between two. I've been shilling double Feral the entire time, and we are stuck with the Prot Warrior for the whole way through. But in a parsing guild, I will say the one thing that redeemed them was Hydross one phasing. I don't know if you can do it with a druid, and so I'm kind of curious to see as we go through Black Temple, we'll kind of hit a similar thing where we need the defensives out of the war. So I think what we got to cut is BM hunters. They want all our loot. They want my feral group. Like, just kick them out. We'll take a survival hunter. One of these, okay.
Dude, I
Yeah,
can
survival space.
Yeah, no, honestly, I think survival is just way better. We don't need the BM hunter, do we? We really don't.
Not at all.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Although I am happy to have one in my group.
Oh yeah, I am happy to have one in my group. Yeah, just one.
Loot.
Just one.
What's the situation like you for Blaze? Do you have the feral yet?
Oh, I got yeah, we're vibing now. We've been getting a lot more ferals now, and I'm pretty happy about it. I've been trying to shill deleting prot warriors for a little bit now, and it's starting to work. It's starting to work. But Serve, man, let's hear about you. Let's hear from you, man. Now that you got your sound squared away.
I've been playing TBC since I was a little baby boy. Well, since 2007, so I was like 13 or 12. There's like a local LAN center down the street from my house, and we used to go there like every day after school. And that was like right when TBC came out, so we were there every day playing. And it was just like me and my friend, who I still raid with now. I raid in a guild called Yikes. I play a character called Survx now that I transferred. I mostly played Rogue, but I decided to start playing Ret Paladin because I had another guy in my guild wanted to play Rogue. And I was like, well, I'll be nice. I'll let him get the glaives. So I played Rogue for like years on Warmain, Phoenix, different private servers. And I did play Ret a little bit. I had a friend who played Ret, and he let me use his account here and there, like you're allowed to do on private servers. So I did that a bit. It was pretty fun, but there was no twisting, so it's like auto attack spec, right? You just Crusader strike. But it was fun. And when it was time for me to choose what I was gonna play in TBC, Ret was pretty much the only option besides Rogue that I was really interested in. Like I thought about Enhance, but the whole like weapon syncing thing kind of really turned me off. I wasn't really about that, so I decided to go with Ret. And my guild leader also suggested it to me. He's like, I think this is gonna be pretty lit with twisting, because like it is on the PTR or the beta at that time. It already was incredibly lit. So I started playing TBC as Ret instead of Rogue. I've been playing with the same guild, Yikes, for like 5 or 6 years.
Oh,
like
wow.
Pretty much the same roster the whole way through.
Damn, that's impressive.
We did Phoenix, Warmain, Gamer District, Dalaran, WoW. We did like Vanilla, TBC, Wrath, and we just love those 3 expansions.
Yeah.
They're a bunch of really cool guys. We're not like the most insane parse guild, but we do pretty well. We get 99s and shit.
I think that's what.
No, what were you gonna ask?
I think that's with all 3 of us. We just love the vanilla TBC Wrath of the Lich King eras. It's just so much fun. Me, you, and Star. It's just a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, I like playing melee, right? And I think TBC is great for melee. Like, okay, rogues don't really come into their own until tier 6 and stuff, but late game is the best part of TBC anyway, right?
Oh yeah,
that's when melee owns so hard. So
yep, yeah. Going from here.
Does twisting live up to the hype for you, Serve? Because I think it's a lot of fun being a melee and
it's
trying
more
to
than that.
pull
I
it all
mean,
off.
I played rogue, so you can only imagine. Like, I thought that was cool, and I was just sinister striking on cooldown, eviscerating or rupturing every now and again, or exposing armor. So twisting is like, it's such a pace change, like, and it is great because it's like a continual source of content and like theory crafting, because there's so much about it that's unknown. Like rogue is already mostly solved. You go into the rogue Discord and it's like everybody knows everything already, so there's like nothing to discover. When Ret's kind of like, or at least it has been in the last 2 phases, like really fresh territory for if you want to dig deeper into the class and try to figure something out. Like, look at all these rotations that we have now that are like brand new, right? Like nobody knew about any of these except for a couple when beta came out or when the game
I thought it was funny because one of the first times we started talking was, well, can you even twist back to back? Does it make sense? And now we're so well past that. That's like a basic thing. You go to Light Club and it's
now
like,
we're like,
yeah, of course.
now we're like theory crafting. What do we do on Kill Jaden when we have like a 0.8 weapon speed? Like, so it's really developed, and there's a lot of great people in the Ret community, a lot of insane contributors, people that do it for the love of the game, like like Pride and Solis, and made the sim, and Dolkin, and all these people that pour their life into it. So it's a really great community.
Yeah,
So yeah,
I gotta
Ret's
say, I
great.
do love the community that has kind of just formed around Ret Paladins and TVC. I didn't think it was gonna be like this, you know. Coming into what is that? Hello. That's a little bit of
Yeah,
source.
for sure, for sure.
Anyway, yeah, no, it's been great and honestly kind of heartwarming, honestly. So today in this podcast, guys, we'll be talking about phase 3, just in general, kind of like how hype we are, and maybe different stacks that might work with speed runs, anything like that. Kind of just maybe just how Ret is, overall. We'll do some little bit of boss strategies, maybe Ret and actual just general overall boss strategies. And we're gonna be talking about the WeakAuras and the sim, and I'm sure Serv has a lot to say about the WeakAuras and the sim for sure.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Hello,
Oh yeah,
darkness, my
absolutely.
friend.
I would say so too.
We have to save a little bit of this to
talk with you.
Oh yes, no. So yes, so the sim we'll touch on it just a little bit, but yeah. So going into to phase 3 hype, you guys want to watch this Black Temple hype video that we got here?
I do.
You do want to watch it?
do.
Yeah.
I didn't actually watch it before. I've never seen it before.
You've
No,
never seen it, really?
No, my guild, they always talk about how Hurricane makes the best videos, like better than the Blizzard ones. Like he's like basically the Blizzard art god X. So I'm hyped to see it.
Yeah. No, I think I might. Yeah. We'll take a look at this Black Temple trailer here, and we'll talk about it afterwards, shall we? I'm pretty hyped for it.
Do not rejoice. Your victory is a hollow one.
Death really isn't so bad.
Your greed, your foolishness has brought you to this end. Who knows what secrets hide in the dark? How can you hope to stand against such overwhelming power?
Lord Illidan, I am sorry.
Run for the real power in Outland.
Invasive lightning no longer functional. Systems shutting down.
Don't look so smug. It has all led to this.
Reminds me of like Helm's Deep.
Yeah. Kind of amazing this was made by a fan.
Seriously impressive.
In the name of Lady Voss.
We're getting Volterra. Is it good?
I have something for
It does go through, I think, almost every boss.
What are you
Hold on, guys, I gotta turn you up.
Supremus looks so badass. He's like the best looking boss. He's so tall.
Damn it!
There we go. Turn you guys up. Should be better now.
Look, that's the Ret Paladin.
7 feet of the sanctuary. You have faced many challenges. Pity they were all in
This has to be the most iconic TVC rig, right? I wonder if it's running for like an eternity.
Yeah, for the average person.
Pain and suffering
Like I like some
will
more,
await
but
you.
this is like more. This is like deeper into the lore. You know, it's more important for like the story.
Sunwell was like the not so accessible, like super try-hard raid where you had to start doing lots of stacking, and then the Black Temple was just, I think, my favorite.
It's very cinematic. Like Illidan is like it's a he's like a change in boss design to be as cinematic as possible.
Yeah, I think maybe to our detriment as Rets though.
Dude, so first off, why is that so much like why is that so good?
I know, like
You know what I'm saying?
they should have hired that guy
I
for the
know,
Blizzard
dude.
art team. He's so good,
Insane.
and he does that for like every raid. You know, he's got like a Nax video that people love, and
What? Really?
yeah, he does like really impressive 3D model work, just for free, just because he likes doing it. So yeah, we used to watch those. You know, he has like a Nax video that we watched before
Mhm.
Nax progression started, get us all hyped up and shit like that. Yeah, he's got a lot of those.
Hmm. Interesting.
His name's Hurricane. If you guys want to check him out on YouTube.
Yeah.
Need to get him to do the intros for us.
Yeah, I mean, dude, that
Oh,
was
that would be so
insane.
sick.
I mean, dude, just watching that video, I mean, it just I'm still fucking hyped for phase 3. I mean, doing the PTRs and the Black Temple, I mean, that shit is so much fun.
Yeah, BT is just like it's quintessential TBC.
Oh yeah,
It really is. It's like
absolutely.
the best parts of TBC in one raid. You know,
So,
you got the really challenging, but not like crazy hard, but like really challenging trash with all these little like areas that are like themed in a certain way, and you like it's like a progression. You start the raid and you like go through a story on your way to the end. You know what I mean? It like the first time you go in there, you're hearing like a story for the first time. You know, it's not like SSC where you go through, you kill a bunch of bosses, you get to Vash, she does a monologue, and then you kill her. Right? It's like if you follow the Akama quest line as you go through BT, you're like it's like a movie almost.
yeah, it is such a long quest line, man. Like just to get to where we are in Black Temple.
Yeah, I like it though.
Oh yeah.
I'm a big. That's like my favorite quest line is the Akama one. Like on I remember on Warmane there was a huge meme because when you kill what is it, Shade of Akama, all of the little broken guys they start yelling Hail Akama.
Mhm.
So like on Warmane it was like a huge meme for people to yell Hail Akama. You'd like kill somebody in PvP and yell Hail Akama.
Nice little server meme for sure.
And he owns, dude. He gets to fight. You get to fight with him on Illidan.
Oh
He
yeah, dude, he
owns.
does own for sure. Absolutely. So I mean, going into Black Temple, going into Mount Hydro, how do you guys think this is gonna affect like our raid comps and stuff like that?
That's a really good question. You have any thoughts on that, Star?
Star, what do you think?
Casters have to get a lot better. There's lots of caster friendly fights, and then their itemizations finally getting haste is really good. I think we'll still be in an okay place though, because melee gets insane and squawk still exists, so I think Ret will be fine.
Mm-hmm.
I get the feeling the speedrun meta might go a little more caster stack this time for those that were running warrior
Really?
stacks.
Really, you think that?
Even with RPAN and everything? That's interesting.
I would actually argue it's going to be more of a fury stack, honestly.
That's
I guess
what
it
I
could
thought.
be if they just focus on BT, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I assume that Hydro might be the TK of the tier.
Yeah, that's probably the the best accurate summarization for sure. I think it could be a fury stack, but you could also see both a warlock and a fury stack. I mean, I think it's going to be much closer this phase than it was last phase.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter too much because the fights that actually like grief caster downtime is a pretty small percentage of the raid, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you have the
Yeah.
Illidan phases and maybe the
Yeah.
Supremacist phase, but you could probably greed that pretty easily.
Oh,
I
you
think
can.
you could greet it.
We did all the time on Warmane.
Mm-hmm.
You could actually take a hit from the guy. Actually, like
Yeah.
legit, you can survive a hit from him.
Interesting.
How was
But you
how,
have to be able to get out of there afterwards, though.
I don't know if I would test
how
that on the PTR, but well, actually, that's probably the best place to test it, honestly.
Yeah, truth.
how was the trash tuning? I haven't been in there yet, and I haven't done
The
Black in a long time. Is it cleavable?
I think
Can
it's
you stack it
cleavable.
all up?
I think it's cleavable,
Yeah.
100%.
If
Yes,
you
I
if you
think it's
play
cleavable.
smart, I remember the Sisters of Pain and Sisters of Pleasure on your way to Mother. I remember them like absolutely slapping ass
They
and just
didn't.
like killing tanks here and there.
They weren't that bad from what we were doing,
Really,
honestly. Um. So you're
because
saying, yeah, keep
and
going.
then people like kill themselves on them too because they like reflect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think I'd circle back then. I wouldn't be surprised if people are Fury stacking.
yeah. That's what I was gonna, I guess, ask again. Tier 5 was, people said it wasn't really melee friendly. We found out that, it was kind of was. There's obviously some trash mechanics that aren't melee friendly and stuff like that. But overall, it's not really that punishing compared to a private server. You guys think that tier 6 is going to be a little bit more melee friendly?
Yeah, yeah, for
Mm-hmm.
sure. Well, I mean, you have like a fight like Lurker where you're just constantly getting knocked out of uptime. Like you constantly get pushed into downtime.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look at all the fights in tier 6, there's really not that much downtime. Like Illidan, yeah, he does all these monologues and animations that you're just waiting for. And Demon Phase, like you just have to wait outside basically until it's time to go back in again. You're just like sitting there for a whole minute. But
Mm-hmm.
besides
I mean,
that, I mean, you pretty much have full uptime on all the fights that I can think of right now.
Tier 5 was really melee friendly anyways. Like there's lots of, I guess, AoE and cleave mechanics on trash, but you can stop most of them or just heal through them. I guess like the HPS requirement was higher,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah,
like the arcane flurry you can handle with a gouge, and
Yep.
that
I think people were expecting it to be more melee unfriendly because based on the mechanics that you can kind of just brute force, like Leo's Whirlwind, you can kind of
Mm-hmm.
just stay in if your healers are good. So
Well, for example, on Endless, there was 3 stacks up to the blood on Leo's Whirlwind, so it was not something that you could stand in. So I think that's kind of why
yeah,
people got like a tier 5 vibe that was, unfriendly to melee.
I'm pretty sure that every private server had that same mechanic
Yep.
where it's stacked up,
Mm-hmm.
and it didn't matter if you refreshed it; it would still tick,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was
which
it was a lot of
I have now.
damage, honestly. Not stackable for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
But overall, I think phase 3 and just Black Temple and Hydro. I mean, even though Hydro's included in it, um, I am hype just overall, just to get into the tier, to get into some better looking gear, maybe see a Warglaive drop, that type of stuff.
Yeah, I would love to see a Warglaive drop. I've been doing TBC for like 5 or 6 years on and off, and I've never seen a Warglaive drop in my raid.
So
I probably killed him like 150 times.
yeah, I got a question, I guess, for the both of you. And I guess people probably know where I'm at. Are Warglaives Rogue or Fury Prio?
Oh, that's a good question. You already know my answer, don't you? What do you think,
I
Star?
think okay. I think I know Serves, but go ahead, Star. I want to hear what Star has to say.
it's absolutely Fury Prio.
That's
Of
that's my
course,
boy.
Has to
That's
be.
my boy.
of course. I
The
think
only way you give a glaives to a rogue first is if he's like already an Infernal Gladiator, and then I could see it because it's dual use. But straight for raid Fury Warrior easy.
Hmm.
well, I think it depends what your goal is. Like, do you want faster trash kill? Do you want speed kill? Are you aiming for the most effective optimization of your gearing? Looking at future content, because like if you look at future content, right? If you look at Sunwell Bis without glaives, Furies is much better off than Rogues is. Like Rogue has to use Hand of the Deceiver, which is a fist weapon, and they don't get sword spec from that. And then their offhand is Blade of Savagery, which is still BT item, or Season 4,
I
uh,
guess
which is slower, so they lose some energy from that. So it's like, in terms of like, if you look at late game, right, the Rogue benefits more from the glaive than a Fury does, like for single target anyway, in that regard, because compared to their second bis, because warriors get these 2 sick fist weapons that really, it doesn't hurt them at all to use, but it hurts a rogue to use the main hand fist because they lose their sword spec. So that's
and
my kind of thoughts on that, but
That's a pretty valid point.
is the main hand an instant equip for rogue? Because I know that it can be kind of awkward with Fury in the past, where people will use Dragon Strike before they complete the set in the
Yeah,
main hand.
the main hand is definitely an insta equip. Doesn't matter if you have the set or not. You're always going to use the main hand. There was only one exception on private server, which was, well, I guess there's two. The one exception is, or the two exceptions are, if you have Rod of the Sun King on a private server, which is like higher proc rate, so it was like really really good. That was better than the main hand glaive on like War Main, right? So you would use Rod of the Sun King until you had the set, but only because it had like a way higher proc rate than it was supposed to. And then the other stipulation was, if you had Hand of the Deceiver from Kill Jaden, then that is better than the main hand glaive by itself, but it's worse obviously than the set. So that fist weapon, just because it's like, last boss always has like a higher item level on their weapons and stuff, so it's like just a little bit higher than the glaive is in terms of weapon damage. But obviously the set bonus like smokes it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like the two scenarios where you wouldn't use the main hand glaive as a rogue. You would always use the offhand. And that's the other thing I wanted to say, is that the offhand is like obviously better for a rogue because you lose some whirlwind damage having a faster offhand as a warrior. You get more rage though, which is very nice, of course, especially in execute phase.
I think it's normalized, isn't it, in TBC? Whirlwind is normalized as a sword speed, so she could.
Is it?
I
I thought
believe
it was.
so.
It attacks with both your weapons at the same time, and I thought that's why you wanted two slow weapons also for flurry uptime though as well. Because
Yeah,
doesn't
there's some
having a
flurry
fast
awkward.
offhand fuck with your flurry uptime?
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
some flurry awkwardness, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it hurts Whirlwind.
Could
So
also be stealing cleave stack. I'm sorry, sweeping strike stacks and stuff like that. But that's not really too
Oh
bad.
yeah, true. So like, okay, I can see Fury Prio. Like I totally get it, especially if your Fury is always in the hunter group, and if you're trying to do like speed clears or speed runs,
Mm-hmm.
or you just really want to get more trash damage. I totally get Fury Prio. My thing is just, if you only care about single target and you're looking down the line at Sunwell, gotta give it to the rogue.
I mean, you're also a rogue shill. I mean, we all know this, right?
Oh, of course.
100%, 100%.
And I'm gonna be validated when you see me get 4-piece tier 6.
So basically, going, I'll say how I feel. I do think it should be a Fury Prio. I think Fury is just going to absolutely own going into phase 3, and I don't say this just because I have a Fury alt. I guess I might say it just because I have a Fury alt, but anyway, it's going to own. I mean, Armor Pen, just Warglaives, a stacked raider on the Fury. They're going to own on bosses. They're going to own in trash. I mean, you're doing a speed run. You want a warrior with Warglaives, 100%. Like, if you're doing a speed run, I think you do.
I wanted to ask you this: was Fury in the hunter group a thing on Endless? Because I never saw that before on private servers.
No,
it was never a thing.
It was never a thing because it was so melee unfriendly. I mean, you would just die, and then not only that, I mean, I don't think tanks really had as good as threat on private servers because you were itemizing for mitigation and stuff like that. Defensive stats.
There was a time where we thought about doing it, not because it was the meta, but because we were doing Brutalis, and there was a glaive rogue in a like a competitive guild that we always rivaled, and he was like really bad, and we wanted to flex on him a little bit because he kept poking. He was like asking me what my DPS was and stuff on that fight. So I talked my guild into letting me get like a pre-battle shout and swapping into the hunter group for that fight on my rogue, and I ended up doing like an extra 400 DPS or something crazy like that.
Ooh.
And it was like, it didn't make other people that happy because they lose like the hunter in that slot.
Yeah.
But then we talked about, well, if we put Fury here, then they get a battle shot on their pets. But the reason we decided against it was because at that point of the game, their pets are such a small amount of their damage, and you can also look at it from the other side where the BM going into the hunter or the melee group gives them all 3% as well. So even if you take a small loss in the hunter group for the hunter's damage, you do gain some in the melee group.
It's the overall raid, yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely.
So we thought about it, but we didn't really ever go through with it, and I never saw anybody else do it. So the hunter group meta definitely helps like warriors and Fury a lot.
Yeah.
It really helps them, and that's why like Fury Glaive Prio, I can totally buy into that. Like in my guild, we're probably gonna give it to the rogue, but we don't really value trash damage and stuff like that. We just like killing the bosses. We like doing damage on the bosses, stuff like that. We will give our second set to our Fury though, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, like our rogue, he's been trying to get glaives for years, and he never got a pair. And our warrior also said, he would just pass anyway. So
Yeah, I guess it's time for him. He's been
yeah,
waiting. He's definitely up for it.
that's why I've decided to play Ret, was because I was like, I gotta let this guy get glaives. Like he's been trying for so long.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Ret in Phase 3, what do you? I think we should probably start talking about the BIS list here, guys. I think we should start talking about items that we could possibly use and all that type of stuff. But I think we should start off, going from head to toe, basically, with the characters.
Yeah,
So
well, real quick before we get into that,
yeah.
I wanted to ask you guys, what do you think about how we're gonna scale? Because some people
Okay.
have been talking about, we only get 5 or 6 upgrades throughout the whole phase, and our DPS goes up by like 250 on the sim, phase 3 or phase 2 to phase 3. So do you think that we're gonna? I mean, obviously we're gonna get passed by people like rogues and maybe enhance. Do you think we're still gonna be as competitive as we are now? Do you think we're gonna fall behind a little bit? Do you think that the haste is gonna overall help us a lot? Do you think it's really not going to be any different than it is now, etc.?
Personally, I think that in terms of trash damage, overall damage, we're probably going to go down for sure. I mean, warriors are going to start doing more damage. Even the hunters will do more damage. The warlocks will start doing more damage. Everybody's going to be doing a lot more damage. Cleaving. Single target, I still think we'll be holding our own. Not necessarily topping the charts as Star might like to do in his raid on Hydross and such like that. But I do think we will be able to hold our own on single target for sure. What do you think about that, Star? Yeah.
I think you're right. I mean, there's not much we can do on trash. I did want to maybe talk about what you guys thought about spell power sets and whatnot right after.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
But I wanted to
well,
go
we
into
can get
the
into that now if you guys want. I mean,
We'll get into that right now, and then we'll move into the actual phase sets. We'll do that. That's a good call.
I did want to bring up what you said about single target though. Is
Mm-hmm.
right now I think Ret has one of the highest lotto potentials in the game because of our procs.
yeah,
You
the
have 7
logs
ppm on
do show
sock,
that.
but when you proc 70% or something, you can get crazy numbers that I think a lot of classes can't match.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're looking for average DPS and you're going by percentiles, and then maybe Rets will drop a bit, and you'll see enhances go up. But in like Parseland over here with squawking, I think we'll be fine. There's a potential with the boss health that maybe Ret hits 4K DPS on one of these fights with a good roll. Uh, Maybe Wreck Warriors beat that, but we'll be okay.
I think you're right, man. I think we do have the potential. Like, it's an absolute casino class. Like, absolute casino class. You never know what you're going to get, straight up. And it could be kind of fun. It could be kind of bad, but it's also kind of fun. I mean, so you're asking about spell power sets now.
Yeah, what's the play? Like maybe Hydroll is the case study.
Okay. So I think it's something it reminds me of something Graciak in the Light Club would bring up. He would bring up, you guys are sappering the ads on Solarian. That's not even effective damage, that's cringe, So that makes me think of the same kind of thing. So the spell power set you are using for actual overall raid damage, right? That's what you're doing. You're trying to do something that the Ret doesn't normally do, and that's great overall cleave damage. I don't think that's the most effective thing for a Ret to do in Hydroll, honestly. I mean, yes, you're going to be doing the most damage. Yes, that's probably what's going to maybe parse the highest in terms of counting the trash, damage for Hydroll. But I don't think it's the most effective DPS. I think the most effective thing is to kill the Necromancers and then equip your Ravager and just hold on.
Well, I do agree with you, Blazed.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I think you're going to see a lot of people do the spell power thing, but I think it's kind of a selfish play. I think it's kind of greedy because of the Necromancers, and there's not Necromancers on every pool, but they're on a lot of them, and they are probably the most dangerous part of any Hydroll pool that has them. because they do like those shadow bolt volleys and they hit really hard.
Mm-hmm.
And your stun and if you're blood elf, your silence and your repent are so valuable on those volleys. Especially when you have like 4 or 6 necromancer pulls,
Mm-hmm.
where you could just end up dead if they all shadow bolt volley at the same time. And I can't remember if they're sheepable. I believe they are, but you're only gonna have maybe 2 mages, maybe even just 1. So
Yeah.
I think it is really important for us to be on necromancers if you like are trying to contribute the most to the raid. I mean, who's really going to miss your AoE damage? Like those, I would be surprised if by the time the necromancers died, there was still AoE damage to be done. Like if they were not dead by now, the ghouls. Like if those things are still alive by the time you're done killing necromancers, I think something's probably gone wrong with
Mm-hmm.
your casters. So like, is your effective damage doing consecrate there really help anybody? It just slows everything down. But like if you want to parse overall damage and they include that in the logs, that's probably your best way to do so.
Agreed. Yeah, agreed. What do you think about that, Star? Since you're the one who asked the question.
Yeah, I haven't done it in a long time, so I don't know like the relationship of when each mount dies.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think it could be possible that if you have strong single target DPS, then maybe it is okay to go for the parse play. I don't really play for boss and trash, but uh, I think that could still be viable, and it technically gives your warriors probably more uptime on that fully debuff target.
Yeah,
Star's just asking if
that's
he
true.
if AFK is a safe play during Hydro Trash. We're all
He,
wondering it.
he's
Dude,
just thinking, is Alondo gonna be cool with this?
I told Pete I'm bopping a warlock and I'm tapping out. I'm gonna go play
Dude,
Diablo.
all you gotta do is just put freedom on the pally tank and you're good to go, man. That's it. Good to go.
Oh my god, that's funny.
Yeah. So I mean, honestly, dude, between the spell power or the Ravager set, I am more of a Ravager set guy. And like Serb said, I honestly don't even know if the trash is still going to be up after we kill the Necromancers. I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't done it on the PTR. I've done Black Temple PTR twice.
I mean,
I haven't done Hydro.
they'll probably be single targeting abominations by the time
Mm-hmm.
you get killed with the necro, so it's just gonna be more single target
Yeah,
by
just
that
more
point.
uptime. Yeah, for sure.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
Gotcha. Um, so I mean, I think if you like you said, Star. I think overall damage. If you're trying to actually do that, if you're parsing trash, which I know you might not be inclined to do, I think spell power is the play. But my question to you is, do you have a set ready? Do you have a spell power set ready?
I'm getting close.
Oh, you actually do have
It's
some.
yeah, it's expensive though to get the whole gemming situation and whatnot set up for it. So
So
that's why I kind of asked.
I'm curious, what does your set entail? Do you have something like a spell strike set or something like that? Or well, obviously you can't have spell strike, but I'm curious.
No, there's just there's all sorts of scraps that are coming out of tier 5 now.
Oh, okay, yeah,
'Cause
okay,
people don't really want those spell power items with just gem slots because they want more than that, right? They want crit
yeah.
on their gear and hit.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going with the whole like Shakadin, like full spell power, cloth gear, and
He's
everything
going
like
with it.
that. Like
He's gonna send it.
I don't know.
I was just gonna use my prot gear, but
Can I
See,
my
consecrate a
my
Ravager?
strat farm
How does
set.
Ravager scale?
My question is, do you have Wrath of Cenarius? Because if you don't, I feel like it's not even worth doing it.
Oh, let's not talk about that.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
huge.
yeah, dude, that's huge, man. You gotta have that if you're
It's
doing that.
so big. It's probably the biggest slot outside of your weapon.
Yeah, I think if you don't have Wrath of Cenarius, I don't think a spell power set is worth it. Honestly.
We're definitely not ready day one. I'm gonna see if anyone is doing it and if
I
it's
think
actually worth it.
as far as Ravager goes, like I honestly don't think it can compare to because you have to like fish a proc and stuff.
Oh
I
yeah.
think the spell power is just always going to be better
Mhm.
overall. You might be able to get a little bit higher peak with Ravager because if you get a consecrate down already, then you could like or like
Oh
even
yeah.
like a fell iron bomb on top of that. You could like consecrate fell iron bomb and then have a big Ravager spin. You could like peak really high, but you're not gonna be able to like sustain that AoE
Does
damage.
For
the
sure.
spin scale? Like, does it scale with physical stats or anything? Or
Yeah,
is
it says
it like
attack
kind
power.
of
Skills with attack power.
You could do armor pen too. Like if you let's say you get like a couple pairs of the divine retribution legs and the trash neck from Black Temple, you could like throw those on, and those would
Okay,
actually
guys.
boost. Those would boost your
Hey, armor pen chilling in the
Ravager
chat?
damage by quite a bit.
Oh man, we're talking about armor pen Ravager set. I mean, that's great. I mean, this is great. You know, the spell power, the Ravager set.
These are
in
the topics that
theory,
Reds really care about.
it's true. It's true. But I think some people might want to know about the actual Phase 3 BIS, you know?
All right, well, let's get into it then.
Let's
talk
get
about
into
it.
that. Okay, all right.
Yeah, let's see your amazing, super well produced, the real Blazed video. Pull
I mean,
it up.
all it is we're just gonna pause and we're just gonna talk about the pieces. You know what I'm saying? You know, it might be.
You did a wonderful job, I gotta
Oh,
say.
thank you.
It's
I
a lovely
appreciate
video. I can only hope to aspire to your level
that.
for when I get my video out in a
Dude,
couple of days.
I had to use I used a little bit of the GIMP on the thumbnail. It looked a little bit better this time. I was very impressed by it. Just gotta say, I'm just saying, I liked it a lot.
It looks great, and I gotta say, thumbnails are so important.
Oh,
when
dude,
you're
for
like
sure.
trying to get people to watch your videos. Thumbnails are so big. Like,
And I just wanted to say, guys, if you're asking questions in chat, we will be doing a question area at the end of this. So if you guys have any questions or anything like that, you can save them for the end. We will be doing an area for that. Now, having said that, guys, what do we think about the helm? I know we were talking about it before the podcast. I know you guys had something to say about Cursed Vision in terms of that.
don't tell the BM hunters, but
Okay.
Cursed Vision is BIS for us.
Okay.
Just kick the BM hunter.
Just kick the BM Hunter. Yes, I would prove that
Yeah.
for sure.
Like, it's funny. The hunters are all mad because Cursed Vision's slightly better for, like, it's a bigger upgrade for us than it is for them, just by like a couple DPS. So they're like all getting mad about that, and they think that we gamed it by like messing with the settings on our sim or something. But
Well,
it is so big. It is really big, and like compared to Forest Prowlers, like it is a pretty modest upgrade, right?
Mhm.
But to make Forest Prowlers work, you got to have a really nice hit item.
Yep.
You could get hit cap just by using the helm enchant in your chest. That's going to be like a good handful worse than if you had like a real hit item instead of the helm enchant to use.
Had like a neck or a cloak or something like that.
Yeah, like
Yep.
something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I actually,
this is the defining piece of the tier, right? Like you kind of have to know which
yeah.
direction to go here.
Yep, for sure.
Well,
I mean,
I didn't actually know this helm existed until Star asked me about it. The Forest Prowlers helm.
really?
I'm not gonna lie. I thought we were gonna use like Shatter or Tier 6, and then Star hits me up and he's like, "What about this helm?
Dude,
You ever look at this helm?" And I was like, "Wait a second."
I
And then
always
looked it up
skip
and I
over
was
the
like,
helm.
"Oh, that's really good."
I always skip over it because of how ugly it is, man. It's just
It is
so
ugly.
ugly. Like I had it in Endless One, and I mean it's a good helm, but fuck, man, that
It's
is
a hide helm
that
for
is
sure.
it is a hide helm. It is 100%
It is
a
a
hide
hide
helm.
helm.
100%.
I don't know. Maybe I'll show it just to like make people offended, you know?
I know
it
that.
is so hidden.
Yeah, there might be
Hide
some.
my beautiful face with it, you know?
There might be some human male show helm enthusiasts in the chat, but I don't think you would
Oh,
show
no.
this helm here. I don't think you would.
Well, what about Shatterer? Because I know a lot of people are talking about Shatterer, but like
I would.
I hate that hit, man. That is so much hit. You can never use it, even if you like swap your helm enchant. There's no way to make all that hit work. Like
I think
ever.
it's usable in a 6%, more so than a 3%, for sure.
Yeah,
but-
yeah.
I agree with that.
But,
you can make it
like-
work in a 6.
Yeah, you can make it work in a 6, but like having that on a 3% hit set, it kind of sucks. It kind of does.
It's like a 4 strength upgrade over the goggles or something if
Yeah,
you
I
don't
know.
need it.
yeah, and it's also kind of just. I mean, I just keep
There's some
thinking
credit,
about
too, but-
the Forest Prowler's helm and how ugly it is, and I can't think about anything else, man. I really can't.
Yeah, you think you're so? Do you think you're gonna get Curse Vision, or do you think you'll be rolling with Forest Prowlers for a while?
I think I'll be on. Fuck, man. I really
Might be
hope.
Shatterer, honestly.
Just,
I
I
mean,
really
even-
hope that my BM hunter that I talk to a lot isn't, watching the podcast, because he will DM me and say you're a Forest Prowler main. But I think I'll be
Well,
holding Forest Prowlers for a little bit here. I wouldn't be surprised if I got like 4th or 5th Cursed Vision, but I don't think top
That's where I
3
think
Cursed
I'm
Vision
at.
is not. You're not going to get a top 3. I don't
I
think.
think I'm like 3rd or 4th probably
Yeah.
for it. I mean,
How
I'm
would you
cool
guys
with
rank
that
it
though.
class wise?
I mean,
You mean in
I
terms
would
of like who's its
probably-
best for class, like which classes?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I think it's kind of like DST, where best class
Mm-hmm.
like doesn't matter too much. But just curious, anyways.
I personally think
probably
it's
Fury Enhance. and
yeah.
then,
That's
like those two, and then after that, it's less important who gets it.
I'm gonna say this, and I know you guys know that I'm an anti-rogue shield, but I also think it's pretty decent for rogues just because of
Yeah.
dual wielding. But the helm is just—it's not really that. Like the tier 6 helm is not that
Yeah,
different from it. You know
they're
what I'm
tier
saying?
6
Like
helmet.
it's
It's
not.
like
Yeah.
the exact same stats. You just
Hmm.
take away a
Yep.
couple stats from each.
No, agreed.
And here's the other thing
I just
about
like it with dual
rogues.
wield classes. You know what I'm
Uh,
saying?
I know from experience that when you go into Sunwell, like as a rogue, if you have Curse Vision, that's like your off piece, right? When you
Hmm.
get into Sunwell, it's the first item you take off when you get your
Hmm.
like when you need to keep your forset and you're gearing around Sunwell upgrades. It's like the first thing is that you take off Curse Vision, you put on your Slayer's helm, so you can use like the leatherworking gloves and some other gear, you know.
Hmm. So talking about the Force Prowler's home and like how we said that we would need another hit item in order to use it and utilize it. As we, I guess we look here, you guys agree that it's, either Choker of Endless Nightmares or the Cloak, right? Maybe a
Yeah,
Dread
I
Boots of
mean,
the Legion, maybe something like that.
I think a lot of
Isn't the
people will end up with boots. Yeah,
It was Cloak, yeah, Cloak. So Shadow Moon Destroyer's Drape, yeah. You say boots, serve?
I think the most realistic
Hmm.
is the boots.
Yeah, I do too as well. I just think
But
that
if
the.
your guild's not going to give you Curse Vision, then I
Mhm.
don't think it's a big ask. Considering you only get a couple upgrades this phase to ask for a drape or a neck, I don't think that's a huge ask.
Yeah, I don't think neck, drape, or boots are really that hard to ask for sure, especially if you're trying to utilize it so you don't, use the first three cursed visions, things like that. You know what I'm saying? Um,
doesn't the drape require a like a hit gem or something though to cap? Like I thought it was slightly under cap.
Yeah, you do need a hit gem. You need like a Shadow Labs heroic gem to make it work.
Not too bad.
But it's like the same. Honestly, you don't even need that gem. It's basically the same as if you had a 10 strength gem. It like averages the same. It's just really unlucky if you get a miss
So you're
because
saying the
it's like
cloak?
0.1% off of cap.
Oh, it's 0.1.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
I think
0.1 off
one or
cap.
two rating short.
That's why it's difference between the boots and the cloak, huh? That's interesting.
Well, between the neck and the cape, I think, right? Because the neck's
Yeah, oh, yeah,
21
yeah, yeah,
hit
yeah, yeah,
and the cape's 17. Yeah,
yeah.
so
But I'm
Yeah, the
saying
neck is the most comfortable by far because it has so much
yeah,
hit.
for sure. And the boots are actually 18, so that's kind of funny that it just gets us where we need to go right there.
yeah, there. I mean, all the hit items in tier 6 are kind of like that, where
Mhm.
they give around the exact same amount, except for Shatterer, which is like way over.
Mhm. So you guys gonna be rocking Force Prowlers or Curse Vision?
Yeah, probably for a while at least, unless we get like, I'll probably get Curse Vision eventually.
Yeah,
Um, but like
a
I'll
bit
get
of
it probably
copium.
before hunters and rogues. Well, maybe not all the hunters.
A little bit of copium, but yeah, keep going.
Um, but not pictured here is tier 6. I want to talk about that briefly too because tier 6 isn't that much worse than Forest Prowlers, and it does let you get the two piece. If
Mhm.
you wanted to use two piece, let's say you like have bow stitched legs, and then it might actually be worth it for you to use tier 6 helm in that scenario
Mhm.
to get the two piece. If it prevents you from like using a mana potion, that's a DPS increase. And then it's not that big of a hit below Forest Prowlers. It's not that much worse. It's like 5 or 10 DPS, something like that, depending on the length, I think.
So yeah, um, thinking about that, and you talked about the two set. I want to talk about the two set and which pieces would you recommend honestly if you're
You think
trying to
about
go
that
for
at
the
all,
two
Star?
set?
Or because
It has to be chest and legs, right?
I think so too. I think it
or
has to be
Helm,
chest and
I think
legs.
you could do Helm too if you
Helm,
didn't have vision, but
you could sway it, yeah.
it's close.
Hmm. Now
The legs are decent for sure. Legs are decent.
the reason I asked that is because honestly, I think I might be running chest and legs for speed running. I'm gonna be honest. I think I
Oh
might
yeah,
be had for that.
if you're
Yeah,
doing
you
speed
should.
run, that's huge. That mana is so big. That's like gonna increase your trash DPS by a lot. I
Oh,
mean,
100%.
that's like 50 MP5 before without even considering twisting. So we can only think about how much more it is, probably like 60, 70 at least. That's a lot of mana per 5. Like imagine if a healer had that,
Hmm.
they'd be like creaming
Hmm.
themselves over that much MP5.
I want to see honestly how much MP5 it is like with the current twisting and how it is because it's a 20% chance to proc on your melee attacks, but we didn't have this form of twisting back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, is it insane? Like, is it noticeable? Am I able to just spam rank 6 consecrates on trash? Like, How is this gonna work?
I don't think it's that big, but I think it
That's what
is
I want to know.
substantial.
Yeah.
I guess we don't know until somebody gets it on the PTR, which I haven't
Mhm.
seen anybody get it
I
yet.
haven't won a
So
piece yet, man. I've been trying to win
Mhm.
pieces. I haven't gotten one. Trust me, I
Where's
would
your
totally
Where's
test
your
that.
Torch of the Damned at? Are we getting week one
obviously,
Dude,
torches?
I haven't even gotten one either, dude. I got 2 dread boots though.
I mean, obviously, chest is like one of the pieces you're going to use, right? Like
Mhm.
that's the least possible hit you can take to your damage
Mhm.
to get 2-piece is the chest. Uh, the gloves are obviously dog, and the shoulders are actually competitive. Like if you didn't have shoulder pads as a stranger, the
Mhm.
shoulders are a good choice
They're
too.
okay. They look RP too. Very good RP.
They do look very,
Sure.
very good. They
Mhm.
look
Yes.
amazing.
Mhm.
I don't have
What do you
stranger,
guys
so
think about the hit rating difference between these two chests? Because it kind of bothers me that there's a gap of 8 here. I feel like your
yeah, I know.
itemization changes a little to fit it.
It does a little bit for
Like
sure.
with tier 6 helm or with tier 6 chest, you're going to be over hit cap by a little bit more, and that's why midnight is better. If that scenario didn't exist, tier 6 would be better, which is actually kind of the only reason that midnight is because of that gap. It allows you to drop your helm enchant and gain some DPS, and you're less over cap than you would be, and that's pretty much like why it's better. If there was no if that if it didn't change like your helm enchant, it wouldn't be better. So it's like, and it's it's a very small increase if you can make it work. If you swap your helmet and everything, you're not
Maybe
even
there's no
gaining the full
incentive to the
benefit
tier
of that
6
helmet and
helmet
swap.
having a hit enchant on it then as your 2 set.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely not a bad option.
I guess it
It,
needs
it
to be
even has
sniffed out
it
still.
even has the socket bonus, the 4 hit rating that you don't have to put a gem in it for like a Shadow Labs gem. You wouldn't even have to use that because it's got the socket bonus 4 hit rating in the helm.
So my question, and I think it's been asked, it was also there, and I'm pretty certain that the answer is yes. There is no internal cooldown on the 2 set. Yes, correct.
I have not heard of one.
Yeah.
I looked around quite a bit about it, and I have not seen any
Yeah.
info that suggests that there is one.
Yeah, see, that's what I was thinking about and was going to talk about.
So
That's why I think it's
you
really
get
has some
multiple procs on
validity.
one hit, right? In one
Oh
switch, you
yeah,
could get like
dude.
4 procs,
Mhm.
200 mana back, something like that.
Oh
Maybe
yeah. I
even
mean,
6.
I could maybe not have to dark rune on trash. That would be fantastic, you know?
Yeah,
Uh
That That's
if
trash.
you're
What about bosses? Is there a boss that was really mana intensive for you yet?
no.
Kazragal, just
No, not
Kazragal.
yeah, no, not on Black Temple. I wasn't having any mana issues, honestly, in the PTR at all. Just I wasn't. Um Obviously there was
Did you
uh,
dark rune?
oh yeah, I was dark running. Well, some sites I didn't. Some fights I didn't have to at all.
Did you do any like filler spells? Like obviously you exorcismed, but
Yeah, there were some filler spells. I mean, it's when I didn't have bloodlust and stuff like that, dude. I
yeah.
mean, I don't want to say this on a hot mic, but I didn't have an enhancement, so I really wasn't pumping, and it was just,
Oof.
yeah, I know it was a little rough.
Was that with TSW in them?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Dude, I saw your ROS and it just kept going down and down and down. I was so sad for you.
I I just wanted like an enhance, man. I would totally
I
own.
know.
I would own all of those guys if I had
The
an enhancement.
third
I would.
the third phase of ROS is like no armor too, so it's like prime real estate.
Oh yeah, it's
He's
insane.
got 0 armor.
Yeah, for sure. And so I
It's just like
mean,
a flat DPS raise.
hmm
Or maybe it's the second phase. I can't remember.
so we talked about the 2 set and stuff like that. I mean, a little bit about the expertise items and how good they are and what we need for them. Any thoughts on that, serve?
Well, obviously Stranger is just going to be this and it's
Mm-hmm.
so big.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just I'm going to give you some copium here because I really wish I had repair,
Okay.
but
Okay.
I'm going to go leatherworking and make the Swift Strike. So I might even use
Oh, wait.
I might even use Swift Steel, not going to lie.
Oh
I
man,
want
that
to hear that
copium
right
is
now.
that is
Please stop.
overflowing. Holy shit! I didn't think it was that
because
much.
because if I go for Forest Prowlers, then Swift Steel is actually pretty valuable. It's basically right there with Stranger if you can actually use the hit.
Ooh.
So obviously Stranger is better when you can make use of that extra expertise and get 3
Yep.
out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But the Swift Steel is gonna like second best is hands down Swift Steel if you can use the hit, and if you have Forest Prowlers, you can definitely use the hit. So I think that's what I'm gonna end up doing. I'm gonna when I get Torch, I'm gonna make a pair of shoulders before I drop BS. Then I'm gonna drop BS. Then I'm gonna go leatherworking, make a pair of Swift Strike, Then I'm gonna drop leatherworking, and then I'm gonna go enchanting. So I got a lot of strat farming coming up to farm the money for all that.
So you're saying that's if you don't make shoulder pads of the stranger, if you don't
If you
get
don't
them.
have, yeah.
That's what you're doing if you don't get them.
If I don't have them by then, yeah.
Well,
We've
man,
only seen one pair, so
I gotta
You
say,
need to tell your LC right now that you have to kill Hydross every week.
I'm pretty sure.
yeah,
Well, I'm pretty sure I would get the next pair because I'm the only person that would use them until Sunwell.
dude, I'm
But
praising for you, straight up, man.
The fact that they allow you now to go straight to Vash and KT means we will still be doing phase 2 content. If you could not do that, we would not go back at all. But because you're able to do that, we're gonna go back and we're gonna do Hydross, Vash, and KT. So I already talked to him about this quite a bit. So we will be killing Hydross in phase 3. So hopefully I get a pair eventually. But
Dude, I hope,
you know,
man.
those haste
On the
shoulders are
expertise.
kind of nice though. You know, I'm not too upset about using haste shoulders. Like I kind of excited to play with the haste actually. So
Well, not to quote Star, I guess I will. Not having expertise when I see a dodge, it makes me want to kill myself. Just saying. So, like, you know, getting dodge is not. It's not fun.
but
I feel so weird about replacing the pants. I know they're
Really?
like
I know.
blue quest items, but seeing my expertise drop in the next phase's BIS set is
So you've grown attached to
so
them.
concerning. I've grown attached.
Grown attached to them. Wow, that's interesting. Because
I'm not gonna lie,
generally,
I feel the same way. I mean,
really, because generally people
yeah.
come up to me and they say, "Yo, Blaze, when can I get rid of these blue legs? I really can't fucking take it anymore, man.
Oh,
I got this one expertise item. Is that enough for me to get rid of them?"
That's probably the most asked
No.
question in the history of Light Club.
Oh, dude, for sure. I mean,
Is
they
when
want to
can I
get rid
of
of
my pants?
them. They really do.
That has to be number 2, right? Number 1 has to be DST. There's
Oh
no way.
yeah, I guess that's true. But
Yeah, dude, it's losing a little bit of expertise. I mean, dude, if you look at the screen, dude, there's so much crit on both such leggings and those three sockets. Like that is so good. Like it is such a good pair of legs, man.
yeah, and if you
It
have
is
midnight,
incredible.
you probably just slap 3 reds in that.
Oh,
and that's like step of JP.
I'm definitely slapping through reds in that right off the bat for sure.
But
Right off the
you know,
bat, but yeah.
it's just like you don't lose a ton of expertise going from phase 2 to phase 3. I think my set has like 18.
Yeah.
Unless you're human, then you have like 23. But that's with stranger, of course. And that's only like a little bit less than the 21 that I have now, or the 24 or 5 that people can get if they are like full bis and human and stuff, or like 23, I think, if you're blood elf. That's not too much less, but it does like make you nervous, right? It's like, am I gonna get unlucky and just have my parse ruined? But like the bow stitch on average are just they're if they were only a couple DPS above, I probably wouldn't use them. But they are just so much better. Like they're like 20 DPS better or something. So even if you roll low and you get a couple dodges, you're probably still gonna do better.
Yeah.
I mean, the expertise drop is like you're gonna miss 1.5 to 2 more swings out of 100 or something, right? So
Yeah, just
you
feels
just
bad
gotta
when it
cover
happens.
that with all the extra crit and AP.
Just hope that it's not when you use your twist trinket macro.
Oh, if you lose your wings, you hit the escape key, log out.
Oh, dude, I can't tell you how many times I've hit the twist, wings, trinket, haste pot macro, and it's just been a fat dodge. It is just terrible.
You can kind of still tell too, looking at, because you have the legs on the screen right now. You can kind of still tell that. I don't know if a lot of people that are watching know this, but Ret Paladin was kind of dog shit until like 2.3, I think it was, where they like redid the whole class, and everything changed from like spell power to strength and crit and attack power and stuff like that, and all their abilities became spell power based to like attack power based and stuff like that. You can still see like the remnants of that in the tier gear. Like if you look at the chest, it's got the 5 spell power socket bonus because they just never changed it. They totally forgot about it. And so like you can kind of still see that they were still figuring it out with the legs. Like they used a lot of their stat budget on the MP5, which is like it's all right, but it's not ideal. And I think a lot of the gears like that, where they're kind of still at this point figuring out a lot of the like hybrid classes and the less popular specs at this point of the game, and they're still getting their itemization down. And by Sunwell, they've like perfected it. And honestly, I think Sunwell itemization is like the best WoW's ever seen. But you can
It's almost
still
too
like
good
see the
compared
remnants
to the
of that.
rest.
Yeah, I know. It's like a huge step. It's like every class gets their most ideal stats and exactly how much they need.
You remember what the DPS jump from like phase 2 to phase 3 and then phase 3 to endgame is? It's like 250 to go up the Torch of the Dam set, right? But you get like
Yeah.
plus 500 for the Sunwell set.
Yeah, it's like so when I did it last, it was like 250 to 300 for jumping from P2 to P3, which isn't crazy, but it's also not horrible. And then jumping from P3 to P5 is like 550, almost 600 actually. Now that I adjusted the sim a little bit on like a 3 minute fight, and that's at like a 3k to 3.1k peak DPS, like average over the 3 minutes. Like that's what we're gonna peak at, according to the sim anyway. So I think that we're gonna be we get like our redemption arc in Sunwell, and not saying we're gonna be bad in phase 3 or 4, just that we gain less than other classes do. Like, warriors get all this crazy armor penetration, which is like their best stat. Enhance gets like haste and armor penetration. Hunters get a ton of armor penetration, and just like all their tier sets have these crazy good bonuses. R4 piece is totally useless. And like going from P4 to Sunwell, I think that relative to other classes, like our jump in how much damage we're gonna do is gonna be
Insane.
pretty good.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
it's gonna be like our percentage damage gain from P3 or P4 to P5 is probably gonna be more than a lot of other classes will be,
I would agree with that, honestly.
because we're replacing like everything across the board. We don't have any of these BT items that we hold on to. Pretty much all we keep is DST.
It will be an extreme jump in power for sure. I mean, you're getting just so much like sockets, so much strength, so much haste. I mean, it's insane for
You
sure.
replace everything. Let me
Oh yeah.
unequip the shapeshifters. Like we're using this next
Yeah.
year, right?
Yes, we are. That's what I wanted to I wanted to talk about the rings because I know Serve is a devastation show, and
Oh,
I am an
I did a
unstoppable
little bit more
aggressor show.
simming,
Oh, okay. Let's like to hear.
and it favored unstoppable aggressors on like a short
Oh,
less than 2 minute fight, and it
okay.
favored devastation. The longer the fight goes, the more it favors devastation. So
Interesting.
when I simmed and I posted the pictures of my sim results,
Hmm.
that was at 3 minutes, and devastation was like 2 DPS above
Mm-hmm.
shapeshifters and unstoppable. But something that's interesting is that when you have double bands of devastation equipped, shapeshifters blows the rest away by like a good bit. So if you don't have shapeshifters equipped, it's like still the best. Like you still want to use it no matter what. Like even though it
You're saying shapeshifters you use no matter what.
shapeshifters, yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
still want to use it, and it's not even worse than a second band of devastation. Like when you don't have it equipped, that expertise is just like more valuable,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and it becomes the best ring. So
It's crazy they put 20 rating on the ring. It's so good.
It's insane, dude. And
it's like almost as much as the belt.
I got that week 1. I got that ring week 1. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? I haven't replaced the ring since week 1 of TVC. It's
definitely
insane.
a recurring theme for Ret is you get a lot of really insane gear
Mm-hmm.
early and then don't replace it for a
Oh
long,
yeah.
long time.
Well, with Unstoppable Aggressor's ring, I also like it for PvP purposes. Honestly, like
Yeah, for sure.
I'm starting to do a little bit more PvP and stuff like that. I mean, it's
Yeah, I
it's a
saw
super good ring.
your fives is fucking killing it, man.
Yeah, they might be able to do it. Might be able to get glad. You know, might be kind of
I'm
nice.
sitting here hoping that we can get 2K this week. We're pretty close, and then here you are, like almost a glad range.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it would be really nice, honestly.
Wait, you
But
guys have Resto Shaman partners?
Yeah.
fives. But oh yeah,
No, man.
I do have a
My
Resto Shaman 2's partner as well for sure.
my enhance plays Resto and PvP, and we play a lot together.
Nice, nice. Um,
I'm trying to get my
so
rogue going too. My rogue actually recently got to like 1850, so I'm trying to, and he's got like pretty bad season 1 gear, so I'm trying to get that on the back burner a little bit. Season 3 is like really good for rogue,
mm-hmm. Yeah,
so
and
I've
I
got
mean,
like all my honor and stuff saved up for that.
season
And
3
of
is also
course,
good for Ret too.
I know, of course, I gotta have all my honor saved up for season 3 red,
Oh
because
yeah,
you gain like 50% more resil. It's just absolutely bonkers.
I would say if anybody in the channel has been, doing a little PVE Ret and has been thinking about maybe doing some PvP Ret, I think it's, season 3 is the time to PvP as Ret. Like, you are gonna have a lot of fun. You're gonna one shot people. It's gonna happen.
You definitely want to make sure you have the most up to date like gear though, like
Oh yeah, for sure.
honor pieces and
Yeah.
the season 3. You want to be getting the arena gear because like that's what makes it so good is that
Yep.
new gear is it's like this theme of them figuring out the classes. Like season 3 is when they actually figured out how to itemize for Ret and PvP. Stop giving so much weight to this intellect and
Yep.
start giving them more resil because intellect shouldn't really take up your stat budget. Like that should be almost a free stat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm excited for season 3, legit, just for that. Like, there's such a power upgrade from season 2 to season 3, for sure. But a little bit less about PvP. I mean, well, actually, I guess a little bit more about PvP. The ring that I didn't talk about in this video was something that I would use for PvP. How do you feel about the ring in PvE? We're talking about the Hydroll Exalted ring, Band of Eternal Champion. What do you think about that, Serv?
Well, I was talking to Machia about that.
Yeah.
Masha.
I call him Masha.
And he was saying that it's BIS if it lines up perfectly with the kill time of the fight, so that it's like it perfectly procs twice and then the fight ends or something like that.
Yeah, but that's kind of like.
But that I could not get that to happen, even when I made it perfect for the ring to like, it's like a 70 or 75-second fight, so that the ring procs and then you get a cooldown and then it procs again and then it's over. Even when I did that, I could not get it to be better than anything else. It's worse than all 3 of these rings.
I just think that, and I used to be a Shattered Sun necklace shill, and I don't think I am anymore. I think that was literally just private server in me. I mean, those things on private server were fantastic. Like, they were very good.
I don't think they had an ICD.
I honestly, they might not have, because like,
or it was shorter maybe.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, it was insane. Like, those rings and that necklace, I mean, they're insane on private servers, something like that. But I don't know in terms of PvE if I would shill the Band of Eternal Champion. I think it might be a little bit too much RNG with a class that we're already trying to get rid of the RNG with getting rid of Lionheart Champion and putting a Torch of the Damned in. We want to add more to it.
I'm just trying to align my DSC. Don't put a ring in the loop, please.
Yeah.
I want to ask you about glove and trinket.
Glove and trinket. All right, let's take a look at the gloves then.
But yeah, about that ring in PvP, it is really good in PvP. Like,
yeah,
if you can get that to proc during a burst window.
Oh,
it's like having an extra brooch almost.
It has a great amount of stamina as well, honestly.
Yeah.
Where's the armor pen ring on your BIS list?
No armor pen.
God.
Ring. We talking
about
no
way. 30
armor
hit?
pen?
How are you gonna make 30 hit work? 30 hit, boys.
Do we need
that's
that?
That's like 66% of the hit we need total.
So Stormrage Signet is best in slot. Yeah, best in slot. I think so.
That guy who made the sheet comparing like Curse Vision across every class.
Yeah.
He put like a note saying this might be BIS for Ret in phase 5, and I was like, I don't know how that's possible.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
Like, even like in phase 5, right? You have like the haste ring, and then you have that twins ring, which is like Stormrage Signet, but just way better. It's like more armor pen, and you trade the hit for crit, and it's just like a million times better.
I mean, if you take all the Fury Warrior's gear, then maybe he won't jump above you as quickly.
Yeah, right. Well, you gotta let.
That's a good idea. Holy shit.
You gotta let the Fury Warriors take the Stormrage Signet, so you can have the twins ring. That's the long con.
I like that. So,
because then they got an armor pen ring already. Well, okay, I can take this one.
So, sir, if you were asking about gloves, what are you thinking? Are you a haste glove show?
No. I mean, maybe when I was still using flesh handlers, I would have used them.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, I thought this slot was going to be really close. I thought it was going to be super close, and like it's not that far away. It's not that big of a difference, but it's pretty. I mean, it's double-digit DPS, so it's.
Expertise is just a strong stat, man. It's insanely good. Like,
yeah, and when you pair those Searing Grip with like your Stranger Shoulders and Shapeshifters and Belt, it's like it gives you 5 expertise, so it's like it's pretty huge.
Yeah.
And I think if you have Grips of Deafness, maybe then you could use Damnation and get an average increase. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. That's probably true. Because
you do lose an expertise, maybe even just one. You lose 1 expertise, so it's like,
So this is kind of an awkward spot for for rec gearing, right? Because we kind of want to clear old content still going into the next. So if
Yeah,
you're missing pieces,
Oh yeah.
the belt is S tier. I mean, it might be one of the biggest value over replacement pieces of any slot. Other than weapon and trinket, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, and I talked about it in my videos, the fact that you might be going back to phase 2 in order just to get pieces of gear, honestly.
I think most guilds will go back. I think most guilds will once they get BT down to a day. They'll do Hydroll on the second day, and
Hmm.
then they'll go back. They'll kill Hydross, Vash, Alar, and KT, and
Yeah.
Solarian maybe too. Because Solarian has that really sick wand.
Yeah, they need Solarian.
Yeah, that they need really bad. So
For
I
sure.
think people will go back for those 4 bosses. I don't think they're gonna kill like Mortigrim or Leo or any of that stuff. Like it's just a waste of time at this point because you don't need Fangs of the Leviathan anymore. You've got like 3 spell power weapons in all of tier 6. So
Yeah, and you'll cut out Void Reaver and Lurker Below and all that. So
yeah,
Hmm.
exactly. There's really like nothing insane off of those bosses anyway. So
Yeah, I mean, like going back to the gloves, I just think that the expertise gloves are just, you just need to go get those. Like you need to just annoy your raid leader, say,
yeah.
hey, we need to go get a Lar. Does anybody need a Black Temple attunement? Anybody need Black Temple attunement? Um,
Well, we are the only class that uses these like the gloves and the shoulders until Sunwell, so it's a
hmm,
good.
yeah,
It's
interesting.
like you should get prio on those. Like those are your phase 3 and phase 4 bis. You're not going to replace them until Sunwell.
Yep.
So you basically had the best bargaining chip for those items. Like you just go to your raid leader and you say, you point the gun at him and you say, give me this, or the judgment of wisdom drops.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, dude, exactly. You were talking about trinkets. What you got something do you have information about trinkets you want to share with us?
What'd you think about Darkman card Crusade?
I
oh,
don't
I
think
was
it's a
gonna
good.
ask.
I don't think it's a good trinket. I don't
Because
think
I
it's a
don't.
good trinket.
It's not really simming properly right now, so it's kind of like a feels craft question because
So
it doesn't stack as fast as it's supposed to on the sim, and that's a known issue.
when it comes to fight times, when it comes to if your guild is legitimately killing things in 2 minutes or less, I don't think Darkman Guard Crusade is better. I think Bloodlust Brooch and
Yeah.
the burst, like with your wings, with your haste pot. I mean, your DPS matters so much on you owning in your Bloodlust phase. Like it's almost everything. And so if you
Well, you
have,
could use that same argument for like Bloodless Brooch over Mark of the Champion. So I kind
that's
of want to
that
ask you about that.
that's what I was gonna say. And so fights where it's longer, and that's what I said in my video. If it's longer, I would use Mark of the Champion for sure. Um, for example, I would probably use Mark of the Champion on Illidan over Bloodlust Brooch for sure, 100%.
Some of these coals
Um,
burn at over 1,000
but
degrees.
like, I don't
Do you
know,
have
man.
one? Do you have a Mark?
I don't. I don't know a Mark. I don't know a Mark.
You guys don't have a mark?
No.
Sir, do
Well,
you have a mark?
Serve has
I
a
paid.
Mark.
I do. I during pre-patch I bought one for 9K. I was supposed to
Oof.
get it for like it was supposed to be like 2 or 3K, but I was doing a gold DKP with Drex, who a lot of people will know. He does like gold DKPs and stuff, or
Mm-hmm.
used to. And he was creating this Paladin and gearing it up,
Ah.
and he was like bidding me up on Mark of the Champion, and I was like, we were still kind of like tight at the time. At the time I was gonna raid lead his TBC raid on my from my rogue. That was the plan anyway at the time. So we were like a little bit tight, and he's like bidding me up, and I'm like, come on, man, like this is my bis in phase 3, and he's like really wants it for his paladin, and he was gonna play prot, so he wanted
Oof.
the
Oh
prot
no.
one, the spell power one, which is really good for prot. But a couple weeks later, he sells the paladin for money.
Oof.
He
That's a
sells it
little
for
rough,
like
man.
a couple $100 or something. And like you bid me up and then you sell the paladin. Like how dare you? Like that is so messed up. And so
I
I
almost
paid
bought
I
one
paid
too.
9K for it, and I'm still regretting it to this day. Although I haven't got my use out of it yet. Like I got to use it on mag
Oh
and
yeah.
stuff, but I will get the most use out of it in phase 3. And
Yeah,
and on
you're gonna get a lot of use in this phase for sure.
yeah, and on the topic of like fight length and kill time,
Mm-hmm.
um, I when I looked at the sim, I got it to be either slightly worse than Brooch to like 6 to 8 DPS better,
That's
and it
based on
seemed
fight length, yeah?
based on fight length, and
Yeah.
so it seemed to skew more towards Mark of the Champion. Like if you took an aggregate of data for every fight length, Mark of the Champion would be better on more of them,
Mm-hmm.
but Brooch would be better when it gets to like within 45 seconds of its uses. So based on that, I'm just going to use Mark of the Champion, and if I see any fights that are specifically like the length is tailored to make Brooch good, then I'll swap.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just going to use Mark of the Champion. I mean, it's also just I like having that double passive. I really like having 2 passive trinkets.
Yeah, there is something to say about, you know, not having to worry about the trinket and that type of stuff, you know,
And
just
like
worrying about
like
your
popping it at the right time when it comes back up off cooldown and stuff like that. So and trying to line it up with wings too is the thing. Like the second Brooch is not going to line with wings. So
yeah, for sure. Especially if it's like a 2-minute fight, you know, 2 minutes 20 seconds, some shit like that, you know.
yeah.
But I mean, not everybody's got a mark of the champion, guys. I mean, you know,
It's
not
true. It's
everybody's
pretty
so
rare, I
lucky,
bet.
you know.
Especially for the Blood Elves, you know.
Mm-hmm.
They never got their shot in Nax, so unless they went to like a gold bid or something.
Mm-hmm.
But Darkmoon Crusade, like, I don't think it's that bad, but and obviously it suffers from the downtime factor. If you have any downtime and it drops, it's just garbage.
It's just done. Yeah.
But I think it's gonna do better than we think on like demons for exorcism damage, because exorcism goes up a little bit, and I think also like if you are doing a fight with lots of consecrate, like if you had like a Morgrim type fight, then like you could benefit from
A little bit more of the spell power. Yeah.
yeah, you get a little bit more spell power on that. And Seal of Command also scales the spell power a little bit. So
Yeah.
When do we
but
think ZA is going to come out though? Because I think Zerker's call is actually around the corner.
Oh, dude, I think Zerker's call is
yeah,
amazing.
it
I
is
think
good.
I think maybe 2 to 3 months into Black Temple, I would say, and then they ride it out for another 3, something like that.
And there was a blue post right about how they're not going to nerf the raids, so they're just released in final form, unless it was a troll.
No,
Well,
that's
they never really nerfed tier 6.
yeah.
Like there is no nerfs that ever happened for tier 6. So they're just releasing them as they were and not ever nerfing them, which is like there is no pre-nerf and post-nerf really to implement because none of it really changed.
Let's
At least as far as I know.
Let's
Unless you
talk
guys know
about
something else.
the weapons for a second, because I know that that's something that some people probably have on their minds between Torch of the Damned or Cataclysm's Edge, and I'm sure you both are Torch fans.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
I don't want to be, but I am. Yeah.
He wants to be. Yeah, no, I am.
He really wants Cat's Edge to be good. I know.
You know, I'll say it, man. I got Cat's Edge because I thought it was better on Endless 1 because, you know, every single piece of data I ever looked at was just Cat's Edge, Cat's Edge, Cat's Edge, Cat's Edge. It's not. It's just not.
I think that they were pretty equal when we didn't have twisting. I think they were about the same.
True. Yeah.
I think twisting is what makes Torch so much better.
There's a huge difference just based on the speed alone. Fellas, I need to use the bathroom, so keep on talking here.
Sure. I think it's like I mean obviously the speed is huge. I mean you don't have that much more top end. 15 isn't like a crazy number, but it's pretty significant. I think the thing that impacts it more is the Seal of Command proc rate, right? Because you go from like I mean Cat's Edge has like a pretty low Seal of Command proc rate of like 41, right? Something like that.
Yeah,
you
it's
go up
not
to
good.
like 44 or 45 with Torch. And like that doesn't seem like a lot at first, but that really adds up to a lot of damage, especially when you're twisting, you know.
It's also just the stats on the Torch. Having crit haste, like they're basically our best stats, just sitting on there.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish our crit scaled a little bit more. Like other classes have like 30% crit damage bonus that we don't, like rogues and warriors and stuff.
Right, we just want to get our vengeance up, and
yeah, I wish we had that because I think that's one of the reasons that Ret is kind of not like half baked, but that's one of the things we lack compared to like every other physical DPS class. And I think that's one of the things that like holds us back from scaling as well as we should. But not that we're going to scale like awfully or anything. But I really wish we did have that crit damage bonus. And then the other thing is that I mean, I thought these were going to be a lot closer, these two swords or these two weapons. But they are miles apart. Torch is like what was it, like 35 to 45 DPS better?
It's insanely
that's
better.
a huge jump. That's like jumping from Lionheart champion, a Lionheart executioner.
Mhm.
Like,
It's like putting on like 3 Curse of Visions worth of value over replacement.
I know, right? Like, it is. It does not seem like it would be
I
that big of a
I'm
deal.
really hoping that we're not waiting 12 weeks for the first torch drop, because that will
Oh,
hurt.
dude, I hope none of us here in this chat or in anywhere have to deal with that, dude. That just sounds terrible.
Yeah, I don't know. Have you thought about you guys are all blood elves, so have you thought about Shivering Fellspine at all?
Yeah,
In
I mean,
Sunmaw?
I'll probably mess with it, honestly.
It's 3.5, so I haven't actually simmed it yet, but I think it is better than Torch by a little bit.
Mhm. Yeah, just a little bit.
Obviously, humans won't use it, but
We're going straight to the Guildjade and Sword. It's dropping the first week.
Mhm.
you're a blood elf, right, Star?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, of
Absolutely.
course. Couldn't be anything else, right?
Yeah, bipolar Chad. He's got to be Horde, right?
Gotta be.
Yeah.
Had to be.
Dude, I wish we could take expertise on my character, but I guess the kill times are more important.
I guess so,
I
man.
think
I
you actually
guess.
parse better as Horde.
Oh yeah,
Now,
I think
this
so
is a
too.
this is a controversial
I don't know if I go
take,
that far.
but your entire guild having Blood Fury and
Yep.
Berserking,
Mm-hmm.
that is a big deal.
It's
That's a
huge, dude.
lot more raid DPS, and you might not have the expertise, but you kill shit faster.
Yep.
So
Have you guys been on Kael'thas? Like, I would need my raid to go AFK and not do more damage.
yeah, especially since the nerf, right?
Oh
Phase
yeah,
4
dude.
and Phase 5 are so short,
Insane.
and that's
So I
like our
mean,
best.
thinking
Are
about
you guys kind of enjoying the lull where, this
Yeah,
yeah,
easy now?
a little bit nice. Yeah.
I'm not spending like that much money. I just pop major agility elixir, and I don't scroll, and I haste pot, but I don't dark rune, and I'm saving like a lot of money because like nobody cares about logs right now. So
Yeah, we're a
everybody
speedrunning
in
guild
my
right
guild is
now. We're
pretty
trying to
much
log
in.
out.
You're what?
You speed
We're a
running.
speedrunning guild. We're trying to log out.
Yeah, of course. The raid log guild.
So, talking about boss parsing in tier 5 and boss strategies, maybe we should talk a little bit about tier 6 boss strategies. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think tier 6 has some of the best boss fights we're gonna see in TBC. There's some really cool boss fights, and like some of my favorites, like Reliquary,
Mm-hmm.
Illidan, obviously extremely cinematic, very cool fight
Mm-hmm.
to be a part of, and Archimond. They're pretty well designed fights, and pretty melee friendly. You have uptime most of the time, and yeah. So why don't you? I mean, you did some of the stuff on the PTR, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I brought up Mother just so that we could, have something, talk about. I know it's not, generally the fight, but a lot of
Oh,
people have been talking about.
I wanted to see Mother. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you,
Oh
but
no, dude, no problem, dude.
I really, really wanted to see Mother.
Yeah, and that's. I guess that's also why I brought it up here just now, because a lot of people have been asking, shadow resist. Do we need shadow resist? Do we not? So with this, I actually do get teleported in this fight, and I wanted to see how much damage it did with full shadow resist. Except I have everything minus the medallion of Karabor, right? The neck, right?
Okay.
So I have everything minus that right now, and I will be getting teleported here shortly. I can't remember when it was. Also, guys, I don't know what it was, and I don't think it was Puko's godly WeakAura, the GCD WeakAura. I don't think it was that was messing up. I think the PTR last night was just so fucked up, man. It's just so fucked up. It was constantly
I heard
crashing and
that.
everything like that. That if you guys can see, sometimes when my haste effects begin and my haste effects end, it kind of just my swing timer kind of just goes further past the end or swings earlier. You know what I'm saying? And so there's a couple
Yeah.
twists on this, so please don't make fun of me too bad. There's a couple twists on this where I absolutely missed because of that.
Oh, we're judging every swing.
Oh,
I'm banning
I
you
knew you were. I knew you were.
I'm banning you
I'm
from the
down
light club
right
right
now.
now.
I'm
as
judging
we
my
speak.
own swings right now. That's how it is, But I don't really know if this is the place. I don't think this is the best place to stand for the boss either. I don't think it is. I personally like the double fish strat. Oh, because here we go. So you see, I did it. You could survive with
Still quite a bit of damage.
I know
mean,
that's the thing. And my next one, when I get teleported again, the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna boots in bubble and see how that goes. So the first test was We did okay with just running away, you know, all that type of stuff. I don't think that the raid is in a good location here, and that's what I think. What do you guys think about that?
Oh, you mean the positioning?
Yeah, the actual boss positioning.
I've never seen people position here in my life.
Yeah, see, that's
So
where I've also.
I'm kind of not even sure exactly where you're at because I've never seen people position this way.
So,
You're
as you see,
you're
we're about to
back.
die here.
You're by the lamp, right? You're by the lamp spot that
Well,
people use.
we're not by the lamp. We're actually, if you see, like right here,
Oh, I see
we're hiding
that.
on this little couch thing right here.
You're at the bench.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the bench. Yeah, and the ranged is behind the fish. So when we did this on Endless, we did where the ranged was at on the fish, right? Take a look here, right here, right?
Mhm.
We put melee here, and we tanked her right here, and then there's like another fish, like a statue on the other side of it, and that's where we put the ranged at. And I don't know if, honestly, I don't know if this is the best one. And so as you can see here, guys, the enrage for Mother is kind of no joke. I mean, TSW kind of just dropped here, you know.
I mean, they need to give you an enhance, and then you
They
would
do,
have met
dude.
the enrage.
You're exactly correct, dude. They need you. Thank you, Star. Thank you, Star. Thank you. They just needed to get
This
it
fight
enhanced.
seems like it's going to be over so quick once people get comfortable with it.
That's what I was thinking too. As I think that once we get comfortable with this fight, like look how quickly she's melting. Just like we all have shadow resistance gear on. Like all of us have shadow resistance gear on. So there's not like we're not using overbearingly deep DPS items. So how would this look like if we just didn't use shadow resist at all? If we just went full send and used maybe rocket boots and shadow resist necklace, how would that work? What do you guys think?
I mean,
I
you
think.
can.
Sorry,
Sorry,
go
go ahead.
ahead. No, you go ahead. I'm actually trying to figure out how to put our thing on the banner of the Discord real quick. So you go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Star.
I think you could just consume through it, right? Like, what's to stop you from having this shadow prot and like a health stone or something?
Yeah, I mean, I think zerging is it's totally possible. It absolutely is.
Yeah, we'll be summoning the Doom Guards in front of this boss and squawking up.
Oh, you think so?
Guards.
Five squawk and blast. Yeah, that's what everybody's saying. I think we just
I heard
pull up five
there's a
squawks and
mod
you just
for this that you can use to get squawk. So the
yeah.
only downside is if you wipe. It might be
Mhm.
interesting in progress week because everything's harder in progress week if you don't PTR
Yeah,
as
that's what I was thinking. I think it's zergable, man. I mean, and I'm looking forward to when I do this with get carried, and we're obviously gonna try it, you know, with little to no shadow resist just to see how it goes. But guys, that silence on this boss is nasty, dude. It is
Yeah, I
nasty.
know.
If you
How
guys
are
are
you
just
still
watching
top
this,
6 years
3?
long, right?
am I still top 3? I don't know.
Yeah.
Why didn't you give me like you see that? Why didn't I get an enhance? Look at that.
I
Why
know,
didn't I get an
right? You're
enhancement?
owning.
That's what
Is
I'm
that a
saying.
resto? Is that a resto in your group?
Yeah, it was resto
Oh
in my group.
wow.
Yeah,
Maybe
it was.
maybe we will do alright on this boss, DPS wise. She has low armor, so and a
Oh, dude,
demon.
yeah. No, that's the best part. But the
You
biggest
just
thing
can't
is,
get hit by that prismatic holy or whatever though, right?
mhm,
Or you'll be screwed.
yeah,
Yeah, I know. I was thinking about there's probably a certain level of shadow resistance that's actually a DPS increase because of the silence. I don't know if that's true or not or how much, but
mm-hmm,
because I think you can resist the auras too, or like stacks of them,
mm-hmm.
which would
Um,
increase your damage. So
yeah. So I mean, I think Mother is totally zergable, but I think like for guilds that you know aren't top guilds and stuff like that, you're gonna need shadow resistance, 100%.
well, we watched the guild fusion get to like 15% with no shadow resist at all,
Mm-hmm.
and they wiped at like 15% right before the enrage. But
I think it's
I think it
doable.
was a good proof of concept that it can be done,
Mm-hmm.
and I think the top guilds will do it. And I think the one thing that people are always going to use is the JC next,
Yep.
because if you time them right, you give your whole group basically a shadow protection potion's worth of absorb.
Yep.
And if you time them right before the portals, and you don't re-up them until people have used theirs up, those are pretty substantial. Along with like a shadow protection potion, you could do that way. And I think that might be a more effective way of mitigating the damage than like using shadow resist and hoping to resist some of it. Just using potions and stuff and trying to brute force it. might be better in the long run for some of these top guilds.
For
Is
sure.
that fight a soft wall for guilds? Do
Yes.
people get
Yes.
stuck up on that?
Yeah,
Yes.
Mother
what
is
I've heard.
definitely like the
Mother,
first
Council,
wall.
and then Illidan. They're all walls, in my opinion. To some guild form.
I wanted to
extent,
ask you about Council because I think Council has lower HP than it's supposed to, according to my research anyway. It seems like it was dying way too fast. I looked up the HP and it was less than WoW Wiki said it was supposed to be. So
Council was pretty. It was okay. I mean, it's not hard or anything. Like it doesn't like on Endless, dude. They were hodging every 10-15 seconds. Like I had to be so on the dispels on in Endless, and now I just feel like I don't need to be worrying about dispels on that fight at all. Like I shouldn't need to worry about that, honestly, as a Ret.
yeah,
But I think Council was kind of easy. Honestly,
it
a little
looks
bit
way too easy. Yeah,
I guess, obviously the fight that we're looking at now, Illidan, I think that this gave us a little bit more trouble, and mostly I think the things that we had trouble here with was this phase right here. And as you guys probably saw, the first phase I was like not doing any fucking damage at all that type of shit. But then right when this comes out, I pop wings, I pop, haste pot, all that type of stuff. I think, for Prog, I think we're going to be seeing a similar Bloodlust DPS cooldown transition as we did have in Tier 5 with Kael'thas, where you would Bloodlust in Phase 3, and then once you guys got comfortable and became more of a parsing, you would Bloodlust in Phase 4. I think that you're going to Bloodlust in this phase in Prog, 100%. Killing these elementals is like the biggest
we
thing,
did that.
I think, for this fight.
We did it on a private server because if you get past phase 2, it's not too bad. The only thing that's actually hard past this phase is demon phase.
Yeah.
And if your casters have that figured out, then they should never really struggle on it. So
I think
it's just like timing your flame strikes and seeds so that they go right when the demons spawn. Is like once you have that figured out, then it's really not hard.
Where's your ogre suit, man? You could be hitting this boss.
I know, dude. I know. Right?
Yeah,
they didn't
I was
have
gonna
ogre suits
say,
on the thing. They didn't have ogre suits on it.
I did this as my rogue when I did phase 2 as a melee on this fight. You can actually go around the fires and still hit the boss. You just have to watch out when the eye beams come. You have to get out of their way, obviously.
So
and you can go through the fire with bubble. So you can actually like still hit those like pretty much the whole phase.
The reason that I wouldn't want to do that is because I kind of like the idea of the rest of Sean's being able to chain heal off of everybody.
Yeah, you also can't go too far because I think if you go too far, there's like a mechanic. Yeah, there's a bad mechanic. So
Yep.
Well,
so,
you can't take the flame too far from its glaive.
Yeah.
But you specifically can't go too far from the middle because you're like splitting damage that you're taking from Illidan's fireballs with everybody around you. So if you go too far out to hit the flame, you might just die.
Yep. Absolutely.
So you have to have other melee with you doing it, otherwise it's dangerous.
I honestly think that, as I said, the phase 2, I guess that's when you'd be bloodlusting during Prog. I think this is when you would probably bloodlust if you're trying to do max DPS, because honestly, dude, we barely get time during the trap to trap him. Because I'm pretty certain he just demon phases once and we kill him right here. Like I'm pretty certain. I can't remember exactly, but I don't think there was 2 demon phases with a kill.
I heard some people saying that melee might even be able to stay in for demon phase if your healers are crazy good, but I don't know if that's actually true. Because he does that big AoE. Obviously, if you get hit by a demon, you're just dead. But you can bubble the thing, I believe.
Yeah, I'm out here healing because people weren't stacked, and I was just like, oh, I don't want to fucking wipe anymore. I can't do it. I'm on wipe 19. I can't do it anymore. Like
this is gonna be the average Illidan for Rets, I think.
Oh yeah, no, okay. So that's what I was gonna say. Like a little bit of strategy for Ret is, obviously if melee is not gonna be able to stand in the front, you go to the back and you just heal people who are a little bit low. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you gotta lose some man on the heal, but staying alive on this phase, you really don't want to do phase 1 and phase 2 again when you get to this phase. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be doing this fight over and over again. It's not a fun fight to do multiple times, in my opinion.
Yeah, you gotta lust to skip as much as you can.
So here we could bloodlust here because I'm pretty certain we kill him without him going to a demon phase here.
I think obviously you want to bloodlust at least once during a trap.
Actually, yes. I wasn't gonna say not
That's
bloodlust. Yeah.
so big.
Not bloodlust right here because he's about to RP. So after this is possible bloodlust. I mean, you're also getting it during the execute phase, all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
But
My Ev is she's such a bad bitch.
yeah, she is, dude.
She's awesome.
Um,
What are those weapons she uses? They look like they're so impractical. They're like bladed circles.
Also, guys, let's talk about it again because Kano brought it up. Let's talk about something you should not do because I'm sure Star saw it and he probably cringed. I didn't have DBM for this boss. I wings right into it, right into the RP.
Oh, no.
Right there, there it goes, right there.
Oh,
I did one swing.
You hit hard at that one swing. You redeemed yourself, right?
I did. At least I twisted it and got like nice crits, but dude, just
What's the dab counter on this?
oh, dude,
dab counter?
I
Oh,
was
boy.
over 15 on this one. I really
That's
was.
crazy.
It was insane. It was insane.
I was
mean,
dabbing with you a little bit, and I was like, I cannot keep doing this because I am too high.
I mean, dude, it was a fun Black Temple, but I gotta say, 10 to 12 hour Black Temples is something you don't really want to do more than once in your lifetime,
Oh
for sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and you know, it's just like, God, I love this fight so much. It's so cinematic and long. It's just like everything you want in a TBC fight. It's like the conclusion to the story. You know, it's like
Yeah. I always
it's
I'm gonna
felt
very
enjoy
like
it the first time, but I don't know if I'm gonna enjoy it the second time. Like, gonna be honest.
I always felt
how many times have you done TBC before, Star? Just once,
Uh,
or
on private servers, we've only gone through tier 5 content, so I haven't done tier
uh,
6 since back in the day.
I've always felt that Illidan was kind of the end of TBC rather than Sargeras. I'm sorry, Kill
Kill
Jaden.
Jaden? Yeah,
Yeah.
but Kill
Sure.
Jaden from like a fight design, Kill Jaden it blows Illidan out of the water. Like Kill Jaden looks so badass. He like crawls out from the floor, and he's like half of him is like still in the Sunwell. And he's like putting fingers of doom on people and doing all these crazy animations, and like it is like you say cinematic. That fight is like it's like theatrical. It's like crazy awesome.
And you get to blast the whole time. Very fun fight.
Yeah, you get your 25% haste buff for most of the fight. Probably the only time that we'll ever go below 1.0 weapon speed and do the old school 2007 no twisting rotation.
Yeah, no, I mean that
Only if you have 5 squawks though.
I would love to
So
do it with modern twisting, honestly. It's gonna be a lot of fun for sure. And I just pulled up Nagentis just because I have a little bit of something here to talk about. There's not really much strategy to go on with Nagentis. It's legitimately just a sit and pump type thing.
just hope that your partner doesn't leave the spine in your back while he's trying
Watch
to
my
pump.
DSC proc. Watch it how it messes up my swing right here. Oh no, I was wrong.
Because of the lag, or
It was something with the PTR, man. It was messed up so many of my swings.
everybody was saying that it was lagging.
It was just
Do you run a different spell queue window on PTR than in
no,
TBC?
no, I don't.
You don't edit your spell queue window at all, do you?
No.
I think you should, honestly. It's kind of awesome.
Dude, it's a lifesaver. Dude,
It is
trying
so
to
big.
like when you're back-to-back twisting with 5 squawks and your DSC procs at the end, you'll accidentally queue and it'll pop past your tick marker. It's so frustrating.
That
But
sounds
if you
terrible.
crank your
Yeah.
if you drop
Yeah.
your spell queue window down to like 200 milliseconds or less, it's a lot harder to accidentally queue it up.
You have to get used to it. The first time I did it, I mean, it's a lot better when you have the GCD swing timer edition. Like it feels so much smoother because when you first change your spell queue window and lower it. And by the way, if anybody in the chat wants to know more about the spell queue window and how to change it, head into the Light Club Discord. If you go to I believe the add-ons channel, and you go to the pins, there should be a post that tells you how to change your spell queue window. If you want to, basically in the game, if you're like 400 milliseconds away from being able to cast a spell, whether it's GCD or the cooldown of that spell, it will queue it up so that when the cooldown's up, it'll cast that spell. And this is why sometimes Ret Paladins will like accidentally judge command, because judgment is just barely not off cooldown, and you end up queuing it up, and you're like, okay, I'm not going to judge because it's not off cooldown and I got a twist and it's going to mess up my twist. So I'm just going to twist. And you cast command, but then it judges because it's queued up already and it just judges anyway. And then you end up judging command. So a lot of people have that issue. And you can actually change your spell queue window. I think it was Nerve, a user called named Nerve, brought it up to me. He said, this is 400 milliseconds, which is actually kind of big.
Mm-hmm.
And if you lower this, you want to keep it above your ping. So my ping is 50. I made mine 80. And you also want to keep it a factor of 400. So 50, 20, 40, 80, things
That's
that
big,
you can
man.
divide. You got to divide 400 into something to make it work properly. But when you do it, your spells don't queue anymore. But if you're used to spell queuing, you might have to practice because when you're about to like cast a seal for your twist, you can't rely on that queuing anymore for that seal to go off. You actually have to press the button after the GCD ends for it to actually happen. You can't like do it early and rely on the queue. So I dropped mine to 80. I know Star dropped his, but you dropped yours to what, 40?
No, mine's pretty high, so I'm running like 200 because I'm not used to it yet. So
Oh wow.
I'm being more conservative.
It helps a lot, honestly. If you're really trying to get like if you're like really having trouble under lots of haste and you're having issues with like perfecting your rotation when it's very, very, very tight, I would recommend it. But you just have to get used to it first, because the first raid I did with it, I didn't do it very well, and I ended up missing some twists.
That's something I definitely should try for sure.
This is what Stars Hydross?
This is Stars Hydross. It's 3K Hydross where Hydross, or rather 3K Ret DPS is not a meme. You know what I'm saying?
It's not even. Don't sell them short. It's not 3K. It's 3,400.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's
Was it 3,400? Jesus fucking Christ, man, that's a lot.
It's nuts, and he only gets beat by the Fury Warrior at the very, very end. Did that Fury Warrior pop wreck? Probably did. But
Yeah, I think he was going for number 1.
I'm jealous of your double lusts. Did he not get number 1?
He's number 1 on this boss. I don't know if he got it on this poll though. Yeah, this was a crazy poll. I got like 75% proc rate. It's like
it's insane.
Normally
dude.
we complain about the lotto, right? But sometimes you actually win.
And so you one phase this. Did you bring a warrior in for the shield wall, or?
He dies, but yeah. So
Okay.
right around like 3%, we actually get bubbled, and I have Divine Shield up off of 4 Barons, so normally you die.
That's clutch.
Question was asked. How do your tanks keep aggro?
Dude, I don't know.
You don't know?
They're
You don't know?
I actually
think so. I kind of hate Warrior because I want leader of the pack in my party, but since he's not in my party, I like how they can Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. Keep going.
The fact that they can pre-pull Rage into Haste Spot on Bull gives them pretty nice opening threat with like just 1 MD.
Yeah, for sure. And the shield slam out the rip is a lot of snap threat for sure, especially if you have like a lot of block value. It's a lot of snap threat.
And this is probably one of their best like itemized phases, right? Because in the next phase, then what do they wear? Like season 3 gear, I guess, in their increment.
I heard a lot of them will still just use tier 5 4-piece because it's that good, unless you want to get like some of the season 3 gear and a couple of the Fury pieces, which just makes you less tanky overall. I think that is technically like more threat, but you're less tanky. But I think if you just keep running tier 5 4-piece, then you have like best of both worlds kind of deal. So like their threat doesn't scale a crazy amount, and it can be an issue. But I have a Prot Warrior tank, and he's usually not in my group. He's usually like in a healer group with a Resto Shaman dropping Wind Fury, and he pumps threat. I mean, I haven't had any threat issues since he got belt and 4-piece. And I know people are gonna say you gave your Prot Warrior belt, but it was the 5th belt we got. So
damn, that's a lot of fucking belts, man. That's a lot of belts. Great. Holy hell.
Yeah, we've only seen 2. I'm very thankful I got the second one.
That's impressive, dude.
Yeah, I'm very happy I got belt Prio.
So, Star, did you implement the new rotation WeakAura in your space-like UI? Whether it be the global cooldown indicator or the actual rotation WeakAura?
So I want to add the GCD indicator to the swing bar. I actually need to make it bigger though to make it visually work. In the top, I actually have the rotation helper for VOD review.
Oh yeah. Oh okay.
Yeah.
I think
I
that's
see
the
it.
I think that's what people get the most out of with that WeakAura is VOD review. If they go back and watch, I think that's where it really shines. I mean, it can be difficult to like swap your rotation
Hmm.
mid pull or whatever. And if you're good and you're familiar with the different rotations, you can do it. But I think most people get the benefit from like looking back and seeing, was I doing the right rotation? And I think now that we've really fine tuned the boundaries for the different rotations, I think it's perfect. So
Yeah. And speaking of
Boundaries are
those,
so important. I feel
yeah.
like because you'll get told to 2-3 right on the boundary, and it can be really tough.
Hmm.
so this is the rotation, and I'll try to
Yeah.
make it a
Let's
little bigger
let's
for you.
talk about the rotation week or and stuff like that. Go ahead, my man. You got this.
I will make it a little bigger for you to see. This is basically what we built. This is a collaboration between myself, some people from the Light Club Discord, Death Baron, a guy named Shiva or Shiva. I don't know which way it's pronounced, but and another guy named Hohep. Now we wanted to make something like this for like a long time, but we didn't really. I never knew how to do it. I mean, we talked about it in the theory crafting channel for like a long time that it would be great to have, but I had never really done weak orders before, and I just didn't know what to do. And then this guy Hohep, actually it wasn't Hohep, it was another guy named Passion. I talked to him about like changing his rotation, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I better go look at my rotation weak aura and see what it tells me." And I was like, "What? Rotation weak aura?" And he's like, "Yeah, doesn't everybody use that? I swear I got it from this Discord." I was like, "Can you show it to me?" And he like links it to me, and I'm like, "This is the weak aura that I've been trying to build for so long, but I never knew how to do it." And this guy's just like had it secretly for like months. He's been using this thing, and I was like, "Where did this come from?" So apparently, this guy Hohet made it, and his was like pretty rudimentary and basic, but he did a great job with it.
Hmm.
And once I saw his code, uh, for any of the fellow nerds out there, I'll show you the code for the custom text. But yeah, once he showed me his code, I was like, I know exactly. It was like the Matrix when Neo like understands the code and he like
Hmm.
instantly knows what to do. It was like that. I was like, as soon as I saw his code, because I don't program, I'm not familiar with any of that stuff. But when I saw his code, I knew exactly what he was trying to do with his weak aura. So basically, what it does is there's some functions at the top. They take your GCD and your swing timer, and they calculate using a formula what rotation you should be doing based on those two factors. Because it varies depending if you have like luster drums or not, because it'll change like your GCD. Only spell haste changes your GCD. Melee haste does not. So that's an important factor in determining like what rotations you can do, how quickly can you change seals and things like that. And I did put out a video that goes into a little bit more detail about the rotation. If you guys want to check it out on my YouTube,
Serve,
uh,
quick. Do you have a link to the week aura?
yeah, I'll post it in the chat. Actually, I have it pulled up right here. One sec.
Um, yeah, that's what they're asking for. Keep going though. It's a pretty good week aura, man. I mean, honestly,
Uh,
like it helps like doing that brain calculation that you'd be thinking about. Okay, so I'm about to swing here and I'm about to pop my haste pot, so maybe I'll be at a 2-4 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like instead of
yeah.
having to think about that on the fly, it tells you exactly what you need to be doing right then and there, and
Well, you
I
can
think that's
actually.
amazing.
It does help you so much with like eliminating that like having to constantly think and adapt your what
Hmm.
you're thinking about, like your rotation and what you're going to do next. Like you can, if you want to play around with it and see how it works, you can put on Seal of the Crusader like I did here, and it'll show you different rotations. You can take your weapon off. If you do that, it takes you down to like 1.4 and changes your rotation again. And it's got these cool icons. The icons were developed by yeah, Hohab first had the idea for the icons, and then we had a couple of different people. Again, it's a collaboration. We had a couple of different people work on it. This one guy, he figured out how to make the twist icon where it's like half command and half blood, so that's nice.
Hmm.
And then that really just makes the whole thing look better and solidify it as official, make it look like really professional, right? So the weak aura changes depending on what your haste is. It tells you what rotation to do. Now it's not like when it changes, you don't need to start at the very beginning. It's kind of on you to understand that, like, because every one of these rotations starts with a CS. So if you just did a Crusader Strike, you can't start with the CS. So it's up to you to like determine where you're at in the rotation. And that's why it can be hard to transfer mid pull, and you might want to, do it like as a review kind of tactic, like Star said, where you watch your VODs and see like, was I doing the right rotation or whatever.
It's gonna be super useful
But
going forward, I think,
Oh yeah.
because we're going into 3.8 speeds and we're getting haste on gear. So like everyone's haste situation is gonna be different from phase
yeah,
3 to phase 5, and
for
then
sure.
DSC procking and all that. I feel like it's constantly changing what rotation you're in.
So we got a
It
question, Serve. Why is
okay.
why is Judgment not in the rotation?
Judgment. Well, the thing about Judgment and also filler spells like Consecrate and Exorcism is that they are so variable, and when you're able to do them changes so much. If you're, I mean, half of these rotations you're not going to be able to do a filler in anyway, like a Consecration or a Judge. Half of these rotations are just too fast for that, and you just can't do those. So those aren't specified. And then when it comes to judges, they are always going to change. Like they're not always going to be in the same spot. You might do a round of this rotation. Like you see, I have this rotation here that I'm supposed to do right now, right? I might do a round of this, and then where I'm going to judge at is going to be different every single time I do this rotation. It's not going to be the same spot. So that's another thing. It's like I would love to specify it for people, especially like some of the people that are a little bit more casual and you know, could benefit from that. But it's too variable to like predict. I'm just you can't really basically what you want to do with judgment is, and I want to pick my words carefully here so that it applies to every different rotation, because there's actually 9 rotations in here, which is a lot. But what you want to do with judgment is you always want to judge before you cast command. So if you're going to cast command, whether it's for a twist or if you're like in one of the really really fast rotations, sometimes they have like a command auto before a twist, because you need to do a command auto before you can twist to prep it, because you can't do like 2 global cooldowns in one swing. So anytime you're going to cast command, you want to check if judge is up before you cast command, and then you're going to judge before that command goes off. I hope that answers your question,
No,
but
that's it. No, that's a very good answer, honestly.
yeah, if you're gonna do command, you just want to try to judge first. If you can't judge, wait till the next one, and then you go from there.
It's definitely, if there's any spell you're gonna kind of punt a little, it's judge. It
For
doesn't
sure.
contribute enough to your DPS to worry about it too much. Just take it when you can get it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it is nice to try to keep that justice rolling though, that buff from the Libram.
I mean, it's definitely a gain for sure, but if you're gonna lose like 1 CPM on it, like normally you might target 6.5. You go down to 5, it's
Yeah,
not a big deal.
yeah. So this WeakAura has 3 parts, well 4 technically. It has the attack speed at the top. It's got the rotation denomination or notation, where it says 1 2, and then it has your what we call training wheels. So you can turn these off, you can turn these back on. The training wheels are the icons and the description of the rotation. Now, a lot of people already know the rotations that they're gonna see from this WeakAura, and a lot of these rotations you're not even gonna see until Sunwell or late into Black Temple, when you have enough haste to actually get there. But these rotations, like if you come here into the custom options, right? There is a training wheels icons. You can turn that off. So if it's taking up too much space, or you just already know, every single rotation is, and you want to, save some space on your UI, you can go ahead and turn that off.
That's very quick. I didn't know you could just do it just like that.
We
Interesting.
at first we didn't have that option, and it
Mhm.
was like you just had to deal with the icons if you had them.
No, that's a
If
really
you,
good edit there, honestly. I like the
yeah,
icons, honestly.
yeah, same. I think they add a nice little flavor to your UI.
I
But
don't have them necessarily that big. I know you're just using it for show, but I do like the icons for sure. Yeah.
yeah, and then I think if people could download this WeakAura and play around with it, it's definitely useful for us to get more people using it, so that if there's any issues, we can iron them out as early as possible. We've already published like 6 different versions of this WeakAura, and this is the most up to date. It's 1.6. I'll link it again in the chat for you guys.
Yeah, I just linked it. So this
Okay,
week
cool.
Aura is new, and we will be posting it in the videos, like on YouTube and stuff like that, in the comments and stuff like that,
Yeah.
in the description for sure. I saw you had the GCD I don't know. It's just the GCD thing in your swing timer.
Yeah.
That's
So
a new thing that a new tech. Absolutely. Was it Puko
yeah,
who came up with that?
apparently he stole it from like well, not stole it, but he adapted it from.
Okay.
There's like a WeakAura that casters use for retail, and he like kind of, you know, took the code and
Mm-hmm.
Frankensteined it into
Mm-hmm.
what we have now. So
Well, I mean,
um,
it's amazing, honestly. I mean, that in conjunction with the rotation WeakAura that you were just describing, I mean, it's a great time to be alive as a Ret Paladin, in my opinion.
yeah, could you imagine like playing in 2007 with twisting and with all this technology?
It'd be
It would
insane.
have been
Like
so
you,
hard.
you would
But
top damage over all the people.
Serv, I'm gonna have to ask you to kill that Alliance player that's right in front of you.
Oh, he's not Alliance. That's horrid.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm
Well,
on
he's lucky.
Faerlina. You think we got Alliance here?
Oh, fuck, my bad, dude.
They're all gone now.
My
I
bad.
just left Scarum and totally hoard everything, and then Scarum was dying, so we came to Faerlina, and now Faerlina's all
Um,
horrid. So
so since we were talking about the GCD, go ahead and hit something just so people can see
yeah,
the
so
GCD WeakAura.
there's you'll see a gray bar on my swing timer down here,
Mm-hmm.
and that shows my GCD. I don't have abilities being tracked in my like, my above my swing timer
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
lot of other people do.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to look down here if you want to see the other version, like the other GCD stuff.
Yeah.
But I'll just let this thing hit me, and I'll just.
Yeah, it's good. I like it because it's a more visual friendly way to twist, honestly.
It helps so much.
It
Like
does.
you being able to telegraph two GCDs ahead at any time,
Yep.
because it doesn't just show you the GCD that you're on, it shows you where the GCD will end. After that, it goes one GCD out from where you're at right
Mm-hmm.
now. So I don't know if you can see, but there's like this little gray bar down here that goes ahead. It's kind of hard to see when I'm unarmed because I'm swinging so fast, but
Yeah.
there's like this
Yeah,
little
it is
gray
a little
bar.
fast.
This
it takes
little
a
gray
guess.
bar stays like ahead of my GCD, and it's always one GCD ahead of when the
Mm-hmm.
GCD is going to end. So you can telegraph two global cooldowns ahead of where you're at right now.
Yeah, it's great.
Um, and what I wanted to show you guys is, I had this built into my swing timer, and I know Puko installed it into one of Geffin's swing timers, which like most people use Geffin's.
Mm-hmm.
So if you already use Geffin's, you can go ahead and just download the one. It's pinned. If you go to the Lake Club Discord, it's pinned in the add-ons channel, and we can also throw a link in the description then
Yeah, we
for some of
definitely will,
these.
for sure.
But there is I like this is on my swing timer and it's on Geffin's. There's a version of Geffin's that has it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna show you real quick if you have like a swing timer that you've modified and you want to add the GCD part. It's actually really really easy to do. So what I'm gonna show you is you come into the WeakAura here. The GCD part is just like a black bar. When you first get it, it's like mine's partially transparent down here, but it's actually just a flat black bar, totally opaque. Um, so you can download my WeakAura, my swing timer WeakAura, or the Geffin's one. It doesn't matter as long as it has the GCD bar in it. And when you download it, it's gonna look like this. You've got all your different auras under the group, and you're gonna take the GCD one and you're gonna ungroup it. And once it's ungrouped, it's by itself, right? And you can pull this GCD part out and move it, and you're gonna take whatever swing timer you're using, right? So just for purposes of making this easy, I'm just gonna mess up the size, right? And yada yada yada. And so it's not the same size as your swing timer. Well, that's fine. What you do is you go to your swing timer. So you've pulled this GCD part out, you've ungrouped it, it's by itself now. What you're gonna do is you're gonna go to the swing timer that you currently use, and you're gonna go to the swing bar, right down here. Let me just minimize this real quick. And you're going to go to display and then position settings. Now this is the size of your swing timer bar, right? These are the settings that you need to put in to line this up, right? So 363 and 30. And then you need to set the offsets. So you come here to your swing timer bar, You change the offset, negative 10.5. And negative 250.81. And once you've got it lined up perfectly, so it's directly on top of your swing timer. Wait, I messed something up here. And you just drag and drop this on top of your WeakAura. And boom, now your swing timer bar and the GCD bar are overlaid, right? They're on top of each other. You want to make sure this GCD thing is on top, so you can actually like move these up and down, these things. And you want to make sure the GCD one is on the very, very top. So once you have it on the very, very top, what you're going to do is you're going to go to your swing timer bar and you're going to come down to the color of the bar. It's up here, actually. It's at the top. You're going to go to the background color, and you got to make sure it's at least partially transparent, right? If it's all the way up here and it's not at least partially transparent, you're not going to be able to see the GCD below it because it's right underneath your swing timer, right? That's how it works. It goes right under. So you need to make it just a little bit transparent. Do not mess with the alpha, right? You don't want to touch the alpha. That's the wrong thing to do. You want to go to the background color and you want to change the transparency. And you can also do this for the bar color too if you want, but you don't have to. And once you have that set up, you know, basically what you've done is you've just taken the GCD part out and you've applied it to whatever swing timer you have, and you're all set to go. And then everything's done. You can go ahead and use it. So, you know, if you don't like my swing timer or you don't like Geffin's, or you have a swing timer that you've personally modified that you want to keep, you can take the GCD part out and put it on anything you want to. It's totally modular, works with any swing timer. All you got to do is do what I just showed you. So that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that the GCD WeakAura, it's just so helpful. I mean, it's just another thing. I mean, before that, I was just trying to have to guess when the GCD would be up. You know, honestly, it's just so much. It's so much better to be able to see it visually and where it's going to be in your swing.
Here, I just posted a link to my swing timer in the chat. If you guys are interested, you like the way it looks, that's the one I'm using right now on stream. And if you want another version, we'll have a couple different links in the description. And you can also hop in the Light Club Discord and ask us any questions you guys have. Or if you're watching this from a YouTube VOD, go ahead and ask in the comments, and we'll try to help you out and get this figured out. You should be able to use it with any swing timer you want. It's totally modular. So I think like the rotation thing is great, but I think the GCD bar is the greatest thing that has helped me as a Ret Paladin.
Oh, it's insane.
All expansion.
It's insane.
Yeah, it's like it's the biggest quality of life increase that I've ever had.
I feel like my twists are like
year.
I'm actually like landing so many more with it. I don't know why. It feels so much better.
Yeah, it's like it's really useful when like if you're starting an auto and you're not and like let's say you're going really fast, you have like lust up and stuff. If you're not sure if you're going to be able to twist that auto, that's not a thing anymore. Like you already know as soon as you see that next auto, you already know, can I twist or not? It's already established.
That's the most important thing to me. I need to know right away. Can I land the twisted swing or not?
Exactly.
Agreed. That's something. It's big. You know, honestly. You know, having this WeakAura tech, you know, it's great. And you know, these are new WeakAura techs, but I think one of the biggest new techs that we've gotten recently would probably be Pride Sim. Yes, agreed?
Oh my god, I know. Don't get me started. I've spent way too many hours in it already. Have you played around with it at all?
Oh yeah,
yet,
no,
Star?
I played around with it. Oh, Star, yeah. No, I played around.
Star, have you touched it yet?
Yeah, I'm really happy that the stuff we thought was going to be true is showing to be true on The Sims. Like everyone thought Torch was going to be quite a bit better, and then the Sim comes in and says yes, for sure.
Yeah, right.
So, Serv, if you want to screen share the Sim, so you can talk about that. I know you probably spent more time in the Sim than I have, for sure.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna use the bathroom real quick, actually, if that's all right, before we start this part.
That's fine.
And we also, I guess we haven't announced this yet, but so this is a bi-weekly show, and in 2 weeks, it's on New Year's Day is our next show, and we're gonna have Pride on, and Pride made the Sim. Also, some people know him as Baranor. He makes awesome YouTube videos. He made the first spreadsheet we had. He was the creator of that, and now he's the one who made the sim. He's a great guy, puts in a ton of work and really contributes to the Ret community. And if you're interested to hear what he has to say and like learn a little bit more about the deeper mechanics of the sim and how it works, and just hear his thoughts on
Yep.
P3 and stuff, make sure you tune in on New Year's Day. It's probably around 4 or 5 p.m. Eastern, because he's European, so we have to go a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I'm gonna go use the bathroom.
Yeah.
You guys.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I'm really excited for the Pride one. He'll be able to talk about the sim probably more than even Serve can. He's probably got little things that he wants to change. There's also things that are coming up, and I know Star's going to agree with me on this one. I would like a chicken 1 through 5 on this.
Oh, please.
There is
So
currently yes. There's currently not one. I need it for sure. I wonder how that's going to affect our gear, though. What do you think about that, though? Do you think that's going to change anything drastically?
The chicken stuff?
Yeah.
No, there's just not much flex. Not right now in the itemization, anyways.
Yeah, there isn't.
Maybe in Sunwell.
Sunwell, maybe. I mean, maybe
I've been
armor
kind of
pen.
curious, like, what if when you hit like that spot where you can't really twist anymore?
Mm-hmm.
That.
If
Sorry. Go ahead.
if we'll actually start having like haste percentage targets towards the end or not.
Yeah, like where we don't want to go over.
Well, I don't know if you saw. I did a little bit of math recently in the theory crafting channel about what is our theoretical max weapon speed. How fast can we possibly get? And it used every haste thing in the book. It didn't use like stuff like Abacus, because like who's going to be using Abacus in Sunwell? Right?
Nobody.
But I'll just pull it up real quick and I'll just say it to you real quick. But some of the interesting things I found was let's see, where is it? Here we go. So I took all our additive hastes, 27% haste in Sunwell Bisque gear. Haste potion is like 25%, 20% for like DST. And it adds up to like 72% haste from your gear, haste pot, and DST, right? Then you have like all your multiplicative hastes, which are like Bloodlust, Drums, Mongoose, Chicken, however many you have, and the Kill Jaden Breath buff. On Kill Jaden, there's a buff that gives you 25% haste, and it's a percentage based, which means it scales. So all the percentage based haste scales with each other, so you end up getting more for like bang for your buck, essentially. Like Bloodlust says 30%, but it's actually like 40% after you stack it with everything else. It's actually like a lot more.
Insane.
So when you outside of Kill Jaden, the highest amount of haste you can get is like 206%, which is a lot. I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah, that is insane.
So now remember this: on Kill Jaden, he gives you 25% haste, right? But when that scales with everything else, it actually brings you up to 283% haste. So that's like 70%. So that 25% haste buff you get on Kill Jaden is actually like 70% when you stack it with everything else, which
It's
is
crazy.
like absolutely bonkers.
Ret meta.
So I did this. I looked at every single weapon speed, and I'm just gonna really quickly go through these. On Kill Jaden, the fastest you'll be able to go with Apollyon, which is like your best weapon. That's a 3.4 speed. Unfortunately, I wish it was slower, but it's not.
Terrible. Yeah.
But the fastest you'll be able to go on Kill Jaden is 0.89.
Oof.
And that's with 5 chickens and everything else.
That's insane, dude.
All at. And then when you're not on Kill Jaden, the fastest you'll be able to go is 1.1.
Gee, that's still so fast. Holy shit.
It is. That's about as fast as your global cooldown.
Yeah. That's insane.
So there is never a point where we can't twist. I mean, there is a point where we can't twist like we do now, but you can always like. There's a rotation called the 2-5 rotation where you do basically one global cooldown every swing, and you do like a command auto, and then the next swing you do a twist, and you'll be able to do that no matter what. Like unless you're on Kill Jaden. Kill Jaden's the only time where you might hit that point where you just can't do that because Seal of Command has like a 1 second internal cooldown.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think about that, then if you're trying to do a command auto and then the next auto is a twist, well, if that command auto procs, then that twist isn't going to go off because of the internal cooldown on command. And that's where it becomes better to just like ride blood,
Yeah, you start
Yep.
taking a straight loss at
not
that point.
twist.
Yep. Just start to. Yep.
What'd you say, Star?
Yeah, you start taking a straight loss at that point. 'cause of the
Yeah.
IC.
Huge loss.
I think so. So I think on that might be the only time where, and this is only for like a 10-second period while you have DST and haste spot and everything else, right? I mean, I
Yeah.
think that scenario might be the only one where insane strength potion could be good, but even then it might not be better.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I haven't looked at it yet, but
So not to go too in depth in it, because I know Pride will want to go into it. What about this sim, sir? What do you love about it?
so the first thing I want to talk about with the sim, I mean, I love it. I love its simplicity. I love how efficient and optimized it is. I love the UI is very streamlined.
Yeah, the UI is nice. I was going to comment on that.
Yeah, it's a desktop client, so it's a .exe that you'll download and runs an executable. If you can get it in the description of the YouTube VOD after the show ends, we'll put it down there, and you can also come into the Light Club Discord and find it. And obviously, this is made by Pride, aka Baranor. A lot of people have like his swing timer, or I've seen his videos. He's a great guy.
Subscribe to
And
his
also,
Patreon, please.
make sure you subscribe to his Patreon because he put so much work into the sim, and people were begging him to release it for the longest time. The guy really poured his life into this, so if you like the sim and you benefit from it, check out his Patreon, and we'll definitely talk more about it next week when we have him on.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But if you want to run it, all you got to do is download it. There's a GitHub page that'll be in the description, and if you come to the Discord, you can download it. And all you got to do is download the .exe. Some people have trouble running it because they're missing like a runtime, and there's actually a guide for that. The sim has like a wiki, and on the wiki there's like a known issues part that'll tell you if it doesn't run. All you got to do is go to Microsoft website and download the WebView 2 runtime, but it's really not hard to download or install. So
yeah,
you just boot it up. This is what it looks like essentially. First thing you want to do is you want to come to settings, and you want to set all your settings. So obviously I have Blood Elf. I'm Alador. You can set your encounter. There's going to be more encounters on here soon. I know they're putting in phase 3, but basically this just like sets the armor and stuff, and if they're like a demon or not. That's basically all this is used for. So if you want to, let's say you want to simulate Mother Shahraz, well then you can just use like Terrestrial Nilhoof because they're both low armor demons. So whatever. You can change your gems all at once right here using the gems over here. Like if I set Bold Crimson Spinal for red, it's going to go to every red socket and every single item and change it. So that's an easy way to like get all your gems done at the same time. You set the phases here, and sorry, go ahead.
Something I want to talk about while you're on this page right here is that the fight durations are in milliseconds. Now I had to figure that out. I had to go in and ask and figure it out because I was like, what fight is 120,000 seconds?
120,000.
Yeah, I was like, what's going on here?
I
so
know.
yeah, that's a big thing that some people need to make sure that they know when they're messing with the sim.
I see somebody saying in the chat, no chickens, no Patreon. Well, you'll be pleased to know you can actually turn on one chicken. Come down here, you can wait, where is up here?
Yeah, I'm looking
Gnomish
forward.
Battle Chicken, right
I'm looking
there.
forward to when he's got the I'm looking forward to when they add the 1 through 5. That should be nice.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so you can set your talents and stuff. You can come down here, set all your consumables. You can change all your buffs and debuffs and stuff. Average, this is just like any other sim out there has the same stuff. And then you have your stat weights page.
That weights page is nice, for sure.
Yeah, it tells you what all your stat weights are worth and stuff like that. You go to statistics if you want to see more. Like this is all the statistics
This is my
from.
favorite tab.
I know, right?
The damage breakdown, you're saying?
Yeah, because you can see the max. So if you can see like if I got a decent roll, how much damage am I actually gonna do?
Where's the max at?
So it's set the median right now, but you can actually
go to
switch
max. Go to max. Let's check out the max.
So
No,
your
top.
crit rate
At
goes
the other
up
one,
and your win rate procs go up.
the damage breakdown part. Put it on max.
Oh, up here.
Yeah. I want to see what it's like. Oof, see that 4K DPS, bro. I'm telling you, dude.
Owning,
Very,
man.
very
That's
nice.
absolutely owning.
3345.
That's
That's pretty high.
that's not too bad. I think that's doable. Yeah.
Yeah, not bad at all.
It's
Yeah,
cool to
so
see some more go into this event table. I
Look at
like to
that.
be able to break it down.
That super sapper charge crit too on top of that
huge.
1875.
I wanted to dig into the combat log a little bit more
Hmm.
because I was interested to see. He said that it'll automatically adjust your rotation based on what
Really
weapon speed you're at,
interesting.
and because it has like a priority system built into it where if you can twist, it will twist. If you can CS, it will CS, and it prioritizes the CS. So it should automatically go in, and it also is programmed to do command autos when you get fast enough. So
So it
it
probably
should
just has it. Yeah.
it should just automatically calculate all the rotations that we've theory crafted just based on its logic alone, because it's like that's basically the same logic that we use to come up with those
Yeah.
rotations.
To
So
create them. Yeah.
so really cool stuff here. And then obviously the gear section, you change every slot,
Hmm.
go like your weapon and change your weapon when you start loading it up for the first time. Everything's going to be checked off, and if you hit sim with everything checked off, it's going to take like a million years.
Yeah. It takes
it's
so
gonna it's
long.
gonna sim every single item, right?
Yep.
And one thing I want to quickly bring up is that when you simulate, you kind of want to do like at least 25,000 if you want to get like a really accurate result.
Hmm.
You can do 10 or 20,000 and it'll vary a little bit, not a whole lot, but 25,000 is kind of like the baseline for
Yep.
if you want to be certain about something. And then you can come over here, you can set your gear. Wait, if you want to equip something, you just highlight it. So whatever's blue is what you
That's
have
what equipped.
equipped.
And so the check mark is the one that's actually, if you're trying to compare the DPS, that's what the check mark does. Correct.
Yeah, so like
Hmm.
down in the bottom right corner, there's a sim gear DPS thing,
Hmm.
and that'll sim everything in the slot. So if I press that here, it's gonna sim these 4 heads that I have checked off, right?
Yep.
It's gonna sim all 4 of those. And then there's also one in the bottom left, which is like a personal sim,
And that sims overall. Yeah.
and that'll take every single slot, and that'll just do a straight sim based on what you have equipped right now.
Gotcha.
So, and it'll also
Gotcha.
tell you like the minimum and the maximum that you could do, like the minimum damage you could do and the
Hmm.
maximum damage you could do. And then over here you have like your stat breakdown. Like I have 7.5% hit, I have 7% haste or whatever, and you can see like
Question
based on
soon.
what you have equipped in every slot, your stats are over here. So I think it's really well made, man. I'm
Hmm.
super happy with it.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
happy
I
with
did
the
a great
sim
job.
too. I like playing devil's advocate, as everybody knows. Not trusting a computer, but I think the sim is made very well.
So how much time have you spent with it, Star? Have you found anything cool? Any new data? Have you looked at armor pen stuff? I know we didn't actually talk about armor pen stuff, but like we
Mm,
wanted to, but
No, I just got the baseline. I've simmed all the items across all the different phases and
yeah.
looked at the combat log a bit, but
really that much.
I haven't gone into any armor pen stuff or anything yet. And I haven't really looked at all the different fight lengths. That's something I'm
Yeah.
really about because I get the feeling we're gonna blast through these bosses. A lot of them have comparable health to bosses we've already killed before, like Void Reaver, which
Hmm.
is a high armor boss that only takes 2 minutes. Uh, so I'm expecting short fight lengths, and I'm curious to see if anything comes out of the sim.
I
Yeah,
am an
so
armor pen denier.
I
100%.
know
I
I
am
am
a
too.
huge armor
I am
pen
too.
denier.
But I was surprised to see how good the legs are. I mean, they're not BIS or
I mean,
anything,
the
but
legs have an insane amount of armor pen. I mean, that's probably why they're so good as they are. I mean,
they're
they
they're
actually have
just
an insane
so
amount.
they're just so stat weighted. Even though
Hmm.
the armor pen
Hmm.
isn't that great for us, they just
Hmm.
have so much of it.
Great strength, great crit too. I think that's crit. Yeah.
So yeah. So
Yeah.
I'll just come in here and I'll make sure I have every slot set up where I want. This is phase 3 BIS, I think, right
Hmm.
now. Yeah, it is. So we'll go to the legs and we'll do these 2 legs. We'll do bow stitch and divine
Yeah.
retribution. I'll change my neck. There's an armor pen neck from Trash, and it's kind of equivalent to Pendant of the Perilous, but a little bit worse. But if you pair it with these legs, it's actually better than you might think.
I'm a
So
denier. I'm an armor pen denier.
he
Huge
doesn't
denier.
want it to be true.
Dude, no, see, here's the thing, dude. I did it myself. Like, I've done it. Like, I've gone
Oh
a
yeah.
full armor pen set and all that type of stuff, and it's just
People did that on Warmane too.
it.
Like Stock. Do you know who Stock is?
No, no.
STOQ. He's like probably the top Ret Paladin Alliance on Warmane or Phoenix.
Yeah, no. I I'm not an armor pen. I'm an armor pen denier. Huge.
You can
armor
see
pen.
they're dead equal. But this is obviously
That's me denying a computer right there.
this is on a low armor fight, and on a high armor
Oh, shit,
fight,
as stars in the way.
it's a little bit behind actually. Oh
We're
yeah,
gonna
it's
move. We're gonna
the
move Star
I'm
for a
gonna
second.
block
I'm
off.
sorry. I'm sorry, Star. We're gonna move you off for a second. Yeah.
Oh,
Just
no.
so that's 244. As you guys can see,
Yeah,
I'm
I
in.
think I can just do this, right?
Oh yeah, no, that would actually. Yeah.
Smaller?
That's,
There we go.
There we go.
So they're pretty equal on a low armor fight. On a high armor fight, they're gonna fall a little bit behind. Like it's gonna.
I don't know if I believe it. I don't know if I believe it, man. Even on a low armor fight, I just don't believe it. I really don't. It's just so hard for me to.
It's not like
having
armor pen
seen
has
it.
0 value. It just has a lesser value.
Yeah, I just. Oh man, I don't know. I'm not an armor pen shill, dude. It's just. I feel like us getting the armor pen for, hey, let's test it and let's see if it, it's actually a little spicy and stuff like that. It's just like, why would we take it when we could give it to somebody else who actually uses the armor pen? You know what I'm saying?
But if you haven't got bow stitched yet, and your arms warrior and your fury already have the armor pen legs, then
I could say,
and I don't think that many people want the armor pen neck. I mean, I guess a couple people do, but if you have those two items available to you and you compare them, then it's pretty good second bis. It's not bad at all. Like I would not use the legs unless I had the neck. I'll just say that right now.
Yeah.
Because the neck, I'm sure a lot of people already know this, but armor pen scales like exponentially. Now, how much it scales exponentially is not like that crazy. It's not like you hit like a level where it's just like crazy, but it is quite a bit more when you start approaching 0 armor. And so the more you have, the better it is. And Blizzard actually had to kind of address this because it got kind of crazy in like Sunwell and Wrath, I believe.
Yeah, wait till Wrath when you're armor pen capped and no one can compete anymore.
No, I think they had to change the way it scaled because of that. But
they did.
With armor pen, like if you have these two items together, you could use them, and it would be close enough. It would be close enough where you wouldn't really be able to tell the difference. But if you don't have both, it's more questionable. Do you really want to use those legs if you have nothing else, no other armor pen at all? I don't know. Kind of rough. And armor pen obviously isn't that great for us. Doesn't apply to any of our seals. So
that's why I'm an armor pen denier.
Yeah,
straight up.
And like I was gonna say is that on private servers, I knew a guy named Stock. He's a really good Ret Paladin, and he was an armor pen shill. I mean, there was no twisting on the server. He would just auto.
That's probably why.
He's Alliance, and he just auto in command, right?
Yeah.
And I also knew another guy called Meth Knight, which is a pretty funny name. But he had an armor pen set that he played with, but he never thought it was better. He just liked to play around with it. And so, I had people telling me in vanilla when I was doing pre-patch, I was like taking my paladin to raids trying to get gear that might be good in TBC. So I got like Mark of the Champion and stuff. And Badge of the Swarm Guard dropped, and it was going for like 500 gold. And my friend was like, "You need to get that. That's gonna be insane." I was like,
"Yeah,
I don't think
know
so,
about that.
man."
Yeah.
I was like, "I don't think so."
So any last minute things on the sim that you can think of that you'd like to say before? I don't want to talk too much about the sim, because we got Pride coming in.
Pretty much covers it. The sockets are like in the middle, and you have to change the gems. Like you can change the gems here all at once, but for certain items where you might not obey the socket, where you might put like a red inside of a blue socket, you're gonna have to put those in individually. And the last thing I will say, because this will save a lot of you from frustration, is when you are ready to close out the sim, you need to exit out. If you Alt F4, it's gonna not save anything. None of the stuff's gonna get saved, and you'll have to re-put in all the gems and all your gear all over again.
So make sure you leave it normally.
Yeah,
like a
make
normal
sure you
application.
At the top right. Otherwise, you're just gonna scuff it all. So
gotcha.
Play around with it. If you have any bugs or anything to submit, make sure you go to the Discord. We have a channel called RetSim.exe. Go ahead, hop in there. Let us know if you have any issues with it. There's also a GitHub page where you can post your issues and they'll address them. So that's pretty much it for the sim, though.
Star, any thoughts? Last thoughts on the sim?
No, I think you guys covered it pretty well.
Yeah. Yeah,
Excited to
no,
see where it goes.
I
But
am
as a
excited.
baseline, it's already very good.
I'm just so happy we have it.
Yeah.
How long do we wait for the sim? I mean, we were so
I mean, it's
we
been a
we
while.
wanted it, yeah,
It's
so
been a
bad for
while.
so long.
So
Basically 2 raid years.
yeah. So if anybody in the chat has any questions or anything like that, now is the time to ask us. It can be me, Serve, Star, any of that type of stuff. Any questions, anything about that. But I like the sim, and I'm looking forward to the chicken application for sure. More chickens.
Yeah,
We need the sim with the old chickens when you could stack your own. Wish DPS started with 20 chickens.
yeah,
Hell
16.
yeah. That's what we need.
Yeah, what do you
That's what
guys
we
think
need.
about so like Blizzard changed the drum meta because they thought it was stupid that people all had to go leatherworking. And now we have chickens. So
Mm-hmm.
now if you're melee, you have to be engineering or you're griefing your raid. What do you guys think about that? Should Blizzard change it? Should
Oh God, no.
Warcraft logs ban having more than like one or two chickens,
Oh,
or should we
please.
just let it ride?
I thought you were saying they were going to change leatherworking back. I will never go leatherworking again. I will not do that. I will
I'm
never.
happy. I'm happy with the drum change.
Yeah.
I wasn't at first because I thought like, I want to do more damage.
Not. See. Here's the thing. I don't want to be leatherworking because it's legitimately a shit profession outside of drums. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's true.
engineering has value. Blacksmithing has like kind of like gear and stuff like that. It just doesn't really, you know. It just doesn't
Chickens
really.
need some kind of quality of life
Yeah,
change.
for sure.
Is all.
Just a little bit of yeah. It is. It's kind of nice though. I mean,
Keeps us relevant as Rets, to be honest.
yes,
Like
yes.
Yeah.
casters get all this crazy gear scaling, but they still have to fight the battle of melee having 5 squawks.
So we got a question here. Might be too early, but a human paladin in Sunwhale. How do we recommend we cap our expertise?
It's a good question.
Honestly, from what I've done, and I'm not human, the Sims they call for DST over shard, yeah, with just using the 3 off pieces and just having your human racial, yeah.
I don't think you can make shard work if you have your bracers, belt, and boots. I don't think you can make shard work. It's just like way over the cap if you're
It's way
human.
over for sure.
Because I think for blood elf, it's like exactly the cap. Like
Yep.
exact.
Well, non-human, but yes, we can't be forgetting about our dwarf brothers. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. No, I mean I think you just use DST over shard straight up. And I think that that's also another reason why human rets like have a better argument for getting a DST. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not going to get rid of it, yeah?
This all game.
I don't think we will either, though.
Oh
I'm
my
curious
god.
to see if BNS actually like how fast it stacks.
I don't know if this happened for anybody else, but your stream keeps like buffering for me.
Yeah, I don't know what just occurred here.
It's
I
good.
think...
Well, it just keeps loading. I like refresh it a couple times and.
Hold on. I'm gonna have to tell someone to stop downloading for a second. Hey, stop all the downloading! I'm about to be done. Oh my god! I knocked my trash can over. Oh, my trash is everywhere. Holy shit! Oh my god. Shit, man, that's not cool.
Well, we'll just have to redo the questions once it starts working again.
If it starts, I mean, dude, I don't know what happened, but someone must be downloading something like a movie downstairs or something like that. My boys be downloading movies all the time. You know what I'm saying? Fuck, man.
What's your internet speed? Like your upload?
It's like 20.
It's like 15, I think.
20 or something like that. Should be. Oh, why did it have to go? Why did it have to do this?
Right at the Q&A, right? I mean, ouch.
I know, right? I know, right?
Well, I just refreshed it. Let's see how it goes.
It's saying it's not uploading right now. Yeah. My uploading literally just got cut for some reason. That's I just why? That's so terrible. Well, we were about to just end it, but that kind of really sucks.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
really
about
want to
the
wrap it up so we can chill our YouTubes and stuff and finish the Q&A, you know?
Yeah, yeah. No, that's kind of
Maybe if it doesn't come back, we can just like, once your internet's working again, we can just like go live for a couple minutes and finish it up and then cut the two VODs together, you know?
yeah. I mean,
Just like go
I
live
just
for
don't
like 10
know.
minutes.
I just don't know when it's gonna come back. That's the problem. Like my downloading's fine, but my uploading literally cut.
Damn.
Yeah, it's kind of upsetting.
Oh no.
Damn, bro.
It's like buffering and then it'll buffer for like 10 seconds and then I'll see like 5 seconds of like slow-mo blazed and then it'll buffer again.
Yeah, dude, that's just my bad, guys. We had a good thing going on here.
I think the show's been going great.
Yeah, I think it has been too.
30 viewers, like it's great.
It's a lot of fun. I do have to raid here in like a minute.
Oh
So
yeah, dude, all good, man.
No problem. Let's make sure we shout out his YouTube then.
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah,
In
yeah.
case he's not here.
Um,
Soulstar, right?
yep.
oh god, I think it's coming back. I think it's coming back.
Okay.
I think it's coming back. Hello, can people see me? It has to be coming back.
Wait, there's like so many different Soulstars.
I think it's coming back.
You can just do my Twitch.
Can
easier.
you
It's linked
just
to
send
YouTube.
me links to your YouTube and Twitch? you
Can
think?
anybody see me? Am I good to can I Are we
Okay.
still dropping? What's the problem? Are we still
It
What-
looks better now. It's streaming. It's catching up. I just watched you knock your trash can over.
Oh, dude, I knocked that trash can over real quick, dude. I guess just
I'm gonna
refresh.
refresh.
Yeah,
and
refresh.
See what happens.
Yeah, let's refresh and see how that goes. Cause honestly, I don't know, man.
It looks like I hear myself talking about buffering now, so I think it should be good.
maybe.
It's fine. It's working fine.
It's fine
just,
now?
It needs to catch up. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Real big sorry about that. I had to yell at my roommates. I don't know what's going on, but
So I'm sorry. I did refresh the page a couple times.
yeah.
If you guys have questions, please re-ask them. We'll go over the questions
Yes.
that we did. I
Yes.
mean, and Star, you got to go, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
So why don't you go ahead and give us your YouTube, your Twitch, and
Yeah.
closing statements.
Sure. Thanks for having me on the show, guys. It was a lot of fun. I think we covered a ton of stuff. You can catch me Monday, Wednesdays. Probably won't be streaming until Black Temple's out, but twitch.tv/Soulstar. My YouTube is connected to that as well. I did promise to give a special shout out to a couple of my healers, so thanks to my pocket healers, Bibi and Senti.
Hell yeah.
Thanks for waiting for Squawks. I know it sucks, but and also Sex before I forget as well. Those three dynamic trio. So thanks everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, dude, we appreciate it for sure.
Fantastic first guest.
Yeah.
Starraids and Bipolar, they're like one of the best guilds in the world for speed kills. So if you make sure you check out his stuff.
One of the best. I think they are the best for sure. I think so.
They have to be. I mean,
Boss parsing, 100% Bipolar. No
nobody
doubt.
comes close, right?
Nobody.
So I think you are a great first guest to have, and
Yeah,
I really want
dude.
to thank you for coming on the show.
Yeah, dude, we really appreciate it. It was fantastic.
Yeah, thank you. Hopefully we can get a repeat performance next year. So
Yes.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
I'd love to have you on again, man.
Yeah,
Especially Phase 4, Phase 5 coming out, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
I definitely also want to be. I'd be interested to see what you guys do in Black Temple if you want to show off some of your strats. So
yeah,
cool.
we can probably do a Ret parsing Black Temple segment as well. Bring
yeah, that'd be
back
cool.
on.
Maybe a couple weeks in once we started to figure
Yeah.
stuff out, because it took a little bit to figure it out here. Like with Leo 1 phasing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, right.
For sure. But dude, thank you for stopping by, and thank you for gracing us with your presence.
You said you won't be streaming your raid?
No, no, we're taking it easy until Black Temple comes out. So,
Gotcha,
No
gotcha.
problem. Well, thanks, man.
yep.
Yeah.
Thanks again.
Yeah, dude.
See
Thank
you
you,
guys.
thank you. So let's take a look at the questions here before Serv and
Okay,
I.
so we should
See
probably
here.
cover expertise real quick about the human. I don't know if it got cut off by the.
Yeah. Absolutely.
1 second, I'm getting called by. You can answer that one though.
Yeah. Okay. So what we were saying before we disconnected with the human and shard and expertise and all that type of stuff is in the best in slot setup you use DST over shard because you just go over expertise cap, utilizing shard in the 3 offset pieces.
Yeah, if you're human, sure, just puts you a little like it puts you
Mhm.
over by a lot, and it just it's too much wasted value. So
And as
you'll
we were,
you'll have less expertise as a human because you're not using shard,
mhm.
but you still have a good amount. So
And like I said before, I don't know if it was during the stream fallout. I that gives humans a really good argument for getting DST
yeah,
a little earlier, because they're never going to get rid of it. It's never
I don't
never
think
going to
Blood
drop.
Elves will replace it either because
I
like
don't think either. I really
Black
don't.
Inara Sliver is great, but we as two-hander users like we don't stack it fast enough.
Yeah.
I mean, Blood is not going to stack it. Command
Mhm.
will, and you might get an extra stack out of Refreshing Judgment of the Crusader. I think that's yet to be seen. But either way, like a Fury or a Rogue is going to benefit from that way more because they get their. Not only does the haste give them energy and rage, but they can stack that so fast with like dual wielding. So, it's only like if you use the sim, it's only like a 9 DPS increase over DST anyway. And I think if you're human, you probably just use Berserker's Call and DST for like the rest of the game, right?
Mhm.
I mean that's fair.
Um. So we had 2 questions here, and we'll do with the first one. Would it make sense to gear around a 3.0 weapon speed and change normal rotation to a 2-3? Now, personally, I don't think you shouldn't do that because
You wouldn't do a 2-3, you do a 1-2. I mean that's like the perfect 1-2 speed,
and
right?
yeah, so and not only that, like you can't you're getting so many haste effects, from your DST, from your haste pot, from your bloodlust, from your drums, even your mongoose. I mean, you're not going to be able to keep that rotation at a 3.0. Like
Yeah, you could
not
stay
it's not
around
viable.
it. You could like hover around it. Mongoose might put you a little over. Maybe you're at like 3.1, and
Mhm.
then a lot of the time that you spend with like Mongoose or drums, you're like right at 3.0, and that would be
Yeah.
good. That's really good. You are cutting delay off of your Crusader Strike,
Mhm.
and it's gonna net you a lot of DPS. But is that something you need to specifically aim for and like tailor your gear for? No, definitely
Mhm.
not. I mean, you just want to use because that's still like a 1-2 rotation. And if you could get down to like 2.0, you could do 2-3, which is a better rotation. So there's always a benefit to going faster until
Mhm.
except for like maybe some very niche scenarios like we talked
Yeah.
about earlier with like Killed Jaden, but
Mhm. So I
maybe like 2.0, there'd be a better argument for that, but still I think it's like
I think
probably
getting whatever. I don't think you should be trying to aim for a weapon speed outside of bloodlust and all that type of stuff. I think you just go for whatever Sim's best or you kind of like, honestly.
tend to agree. I think
Mhm.
that there might be like certain edge cases where like if I have Band of Devastation on, maybe it puts me in a worse rotation when I have Haste Pot up than if I had like Unstoppable Aggressors.
Yeah.
And maybe like there you could do something because those are like 2 equal items. And if one of them's putting me into a worse rotation just because of what my gear looks like, then maybe there's something to be said for swapping because they're
Mhm.
basically equal anyway. So
Well, talking
maybe
about
maybe then, but anyway.
talking about swapping gear, we have a question here. Will the human then swap away the ring from lower city rep? And I don't think you do. I don't think you get rid of it,
When
especially
when
because
do you think when do you think we replace it? Sunwell or
Sunwell.
I guess we both kind of agree on that,
I
don't
mean, yeah,
we?
because you would be just replacing, if you're in Abyss setup with a human right now, you're just replacing the leggings of murderous intent with bow stitch leggings.
Yeah, and you're not ever like you're not able to hit cap right now. I
Hmm.
mean, you can right now if you're a human and you have Shatrith legs,
Yeah.
but like once you've replaced those Shatrith legs, you're not gonna be able to hit the cap again until you get Shard of Contempt. in Sunwell. So if you're not hitting the cap, there's like it's not like expertise is like more valuable or less valuable based on how much I already have, unless I'm hitting the cap.
Mhm.
If I'm hitting the cap, then I don't want to get any more expertise. But expertise is about the same value, whether doesn't matter how much you have, it's about the same value.
We have
If you
a
have zero or if you have like 25, it doesn't matter.
Mhm.
It's about the same value.
We have a DST twisting question.
Sure.
Siggy has gotten, you know, DST, and he feels as if it's sinking off the twists, and you might be wasting a haste pot. And I mean, it's not the fact that you're missing twists; you're legitimately getting more auto attacks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you are straight up missing twists, it could be bad.
This is the meme.
It is a little bit of a meme, but it does.
No. This is the copy pasta from.
Is
you
it?
just asked for the copy pasta.
Is
Look,
it the
says,
fucking?
"Hey, new right here." So I've been playing with DST for a few weeks now. Insane
I
trinket,
just
by the
answered
way.
fucking
That's
copy
the
pasta.
copy
Oh
pasta,
my
and you just fell for it,
dude.
Oh my god, that is so funny,
God
dude.
fucking damn it, dude!
Oh my god.
I'm out here
Flip
trying to be
that.
helpful, and I read new Ret here, and I'm like, okay, yeah, no, I got it.
Oh
We can talk about it. I just, oh fuck.
God, dude, that is
I did.
hilarious.
Yeah, I just got it. Yeah. All right, I'm
Somebody
gonna read
make
this one. Okay, it's Garasiak. I gotta check and see if this is a copy pasta. Do you guys think we'll be able to twist on our list reflect buffed on the boss dude? Yes, we will be. I was doing it on the Black Temple PTR, and God, I cannot believe I got copy pasta. I was doing it on the PTR yesterday on ROS. God fucking damn it, that's really good. That's gonna sit with me.
That's gonna be a
I'm gonna be
great clip
I'm gonna be thinking about that later tonight
That's a
too.
great
You know.
clip for the wall of shame, dude.
Oh man, that's so bad. That's so bad. But
So,
yes,
yeah.
it is possible for sure.
That's cool. I was worried about that actually.
Yeah, I mean, I
Did you have
stop,
a rogue?
and like I would swing, and I would get like 50%, and I'd be like, I'm not gonna swing until I get healed. But you could probably kill yourself if you were just like, oh yeah, just watching like a fucking movie on your other screen, and then all of a sudden you just dead. It could definitely happen.
Did you have a rogue with you, or like a survival hunter? Did you have them like evasion tank, the boss for
Yeah.
Ross?
Yeah, we did. We got really lucky on our ROS where it didn't even touch TSW, our first phase 1, for some reason.
Oh wow.
But also in terms of getting rid of the dead and stuff like that, we had a rogue and stuff and shit like that. So that was kind of nice.
That's great.
Yeah.
I think rogue is kind of actually like necessary for that fight in a way. Like it's pretty hard to do without a rogue. I mean, all you have is like tanks and a survival hunter outside of that.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
tanks are gonna get hit.
Probably the one spot where you could say, yeah, rogue might be okay here.
I mean, Feral can get lucky, right? And they can get some dodges and save their life.
Yeah, for sure. So we're talking here. What will we guys be dropping blacksmithing for once we acquire a good weapon? Enchanting.
Oh yeah, we covered this a little earlier.
Enchanting.
I don't have shoulder pads of the stranger, so what I'm gonna do is, as soon as I get torch, I'm gonna make sure I have the swift steel shoulders pattern. I'm gonna make those in case I can ever use them, because they're actually really good if you can use the hit. So blacksmith, make those. I will equip my torch. I will drop blacksmithing. I will go leatherworking. I will level it up. I will make the swift strike shoulders, the haste leather ones.
That's a lot.
And I know it's a lot of money. And then because like I want to make sure that I have the swift steel should be better when the hit's useful, but when the hit's not useful, then I want to have swift strike. And then I'll go enchanting after that. And you can still equip the shoulders after you drop the profession. So
yeah,
that's what I'm gonna do. I think a lot of people are just gonna go enchanting. Enchanting is like BIS for the rest of the game.
For sure.
It's really good. It's like 15 DPS to your rings, which doesn't seem like a lot at first, but it's actually
a lot.
Quite a bit.
It's nice. Yeah.
Plus, it's like PvP ring enchants, amazing.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that's half the reason I'm doing it. PvP, straight up.
8 intellect is like 150 mana. That's another cleanse.
Insane. We got a question here, and I think I have an answer for it. It says, "What's the factor that makes an above-average Ret a top-tier Ret?" And I think, honestly, if you're already an above-average Ret, what's going to make you a top tier ret is having a guild that supports your kill times.
Yeah, well, that's definitely one part of it.
Yeah.
If we're looking at only your individual performance, though, I would have to say it's all in your lust phase, right? Everything's in your lust phase. Like, are you performing well under lots of haste? Are you acquainted with swapping between rotations? Are you um, are you able to maximize like your DST procs and stuff like that? Are you able to telegraph if you're going to be able to twist or not? And if you're not going to be able to twist, not even trying to, so that you can salvage that auto and like do other things like a CS,
Boards,
stuff like that.
yeah. The board
Working
says
around
the
your
answer is leader of the pack and double lust, which I kind of agree with as well.
Yeah, I mean that's huge. Obviously,
It's
like,
fucking big, dude.
you can see the difference. You look at like I generally am under the impression that bipolar, if you only gave them the same amount of lusts and you didn't like stack any group, and if you gave them like if they didn't always have 5 chickens. Well, I mean, now that I'm stacking chickens as well, it's a little different, but
Yeah.
I think that a guild like mine is really comparable to a guild like Bipolar's. The only difference is that they have that second feral with leader of the pack, and they have better lust stacking, more shamans. And I think that, and you can see like how big of a difference that makes. Like my best Hydross is like 2,400. Star's best Hydross is like 3,400.
It's insane.
So
Yeah,
that second
insane.
lust is so big. But in terms of your individual performance, it all comes down to like your lust phase mostly, like really being comfortable at high levels of haste.
We got a question here. Are we going to be able to not equip a shield during Fel Rage? And I haven't tried it yet on the PTRs. I wonder as well. I was gonna not equip a shield and just see what it goes, see what happens.
If we have to.
Yeah, it would be nice because I mean, dude, you would be doing so much damage. I mean, that's how you parse, right? That's how you're gonna parse.
Yeah, well, maybe they'll invalidate Fel Rage, or they'll make it so that Fel Rage doesn't count. I heard somebody in my guild said that that's what they were gonna do, but I don't know if it's true or not.
Interesting.
If you get Fel Rage, it just doesn't count. But I remember on my rogue doing 4K DPS, I just pop evasion and my cooldowns, and I just hit him. And
yeah,
I was like Fel Rage. I was literally doing like 4K DPS. It was nuts.
Yeah, I mean, I'm inclined to think that you need to equip a shield. I'm inclined to think that.
I mean, at least for a while until you really have it down. He hits hard.
He hits hard as fuck, man.
And
really
somebody asked this earlier, or they didn't ask, but they said that they think Gertog is going to be a wall for a lot of guilds, and I think that's kind of
true. Yeah, I think I agree too. I agree with that.
Probably the hardest boss until Mother. So,
opinion on Cadza Edge and twisting in case Torch never drops. I would say it's better than anything else, but I would say sell your soul for a Torch.
Yeah, I mean, Torch it's like not even close. Torch is like 40 DPS.
So
better.
good. It's so good. And that's on average too. That's fucking on average, man. You know.
Like I did not think it was going to be even close to that much of a difference.
Dude, Poets is asking, what about shoulder pads of the stranger, bro? Why don't you just loot them?
I wish I had them, man. I wish. Don't remind me.
Yeah, dude. That's really rough, dude.
We've only had one pair.
Yeah. I mean, wearing those shoulders you have now, I mean, that's rough, dude. That's rough.
I'm using Pauldrons of the War Dancer.
Oof, that's rough, dude.
I'm cosplaying as a Fury Warrior.
Yeah, a little bit. Do you think that Warcraft logs should separate parses on categories such as 2+ chickens or 2+ lusts?
I'll be honest. I think 2+ lust is a little bit low. I think it should be 3 or more. Well, yeah, I think it should be 3 or more. It's tough to say because like giving 3 lusts to the hunters and the warlocks is like not really that crazy. You know, 3 lusts for a ret, crazy.
Yeah, insane.
3 lusts for a hunter group or a warlock group, not really that unheard of. So it's kind of tough to like put a limit on lusts that applies to everybody and makes it fair for everyone, because like you know, if you're really having trouble hitting like a DPS check on like a boss like Brutalis later in the game, like it's just better to give most of your lusts to like the hunters or the warlocks. It's just
Mm-hmm.
better. So are you really gonna fault a guild for doing that when it's the most DPS? And like now chickens, I totally understand. Um, honestly, I want Blizzard to do something about chickens rather than Warcraft logs. Like, but I would be fine with them having an official, like the official category being no more than one or two chickens, and then they could have like an anything goes category where it's 5 chickens is fine, however many lusts you want. That's me personally. I know a lot of other people won't agree, but
Mm-hmm.
what do you
Honestly, I kind of like it how it is now.
think? Yeah,
I think you know, you can check and you can see that someone has, oh, this guy has 5 squawks and 6 bloodlusts. I mean, there's no way I'm gonna fucking recreate this without having, you know, 5 squawks and 6 bloodlusts. You know, I kind of take it as like a real life thing. Like you shouldn't, you know, trying to be happy. You know, you don't compare yourself to other people. You know what I'm saying? So you look at somebody else who's got, you know, 6 lusts and 5 squawks, and you say,
yeah,
well,
that's true.
that would be fun, but I obviously can't do that with what I've got, you know. So
That's a good point. You know, you
yeah,
really should only compare yourself to your own
for
logs.
sure, agreed.
Everybody's got different guild situations, and you know, a guild like bipolar is like they do everything possible to be number one. They do every little thing possible, and if not every single person in your guild is like at that level or willing to put in that much effort,
Hmm.
then you can't fault your guild for wanting to just have fun, play the game,
Yeah.
and not go crazy about it.
Hmm.
But it is cool when you watch people do like insane damage. Obviously,
Agreed. Agreed. Fellas, we're gonna be taking a couple more questions, and then that's gonna be it. But we
three
have,
hours. I did not think we would go this
yeah,
long.
we have, yeah. I did not think we were gonna go this long either.
It's been great though. I mean,
It has been. It has been fantastic. We're gonna see more tier 6 full clears on release compared to tier 5.
what do you think?
Star had to leave. Just saying. But I honestly, dude, I would not be surprised if there are people just stuck on like Mother or stuck on Council. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah,
wouldn't be surprised if that's like a fight that like people can't kill. You know? I
I
think
think
Mother more so than Council, because I feel like some people will be like, oh, we need shadow resistance, we can't do this without shadow resistance, all that type of stuff. And then they'll be like held up on that. You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean that's a serious wall to get over because
Hmm.
your first week you're only gonna have like you probably can't even get one item on every person in your raid.
Yeah.
You probably get like half your raid with belts maybe if
Hmm.
you're lucky. So there's no way to like unless you're really going all in with your preparation and getting like green items,
Hmm.
it's like super hard to
Yeah.
have that shadow resistance on week one. So that's going to be a wall for like casual guilds for sure. An average guild probably isn't able to kill Mother on week one. So that's a good point.
Yeah, I agree. I think it depends on how much the guild has like just loaded up on their shadow resistance beforehand. You know what I'm saying?
Mother's also like a litmus test for
For sure.
individual
Yeah.
performance, right? I mean,
Yeah. It
being
absolutely
able to
is.
being able to have 3 people run in all separate directions is like it's not easy.
Yeah. Some people can't get it down, some people can get it down and they start yelling at other people for sure.
Yeah, I mean, at least we can
Um
bubble, right? Did you try that? Did you try
I
bubbling?
that's my next thing. That's my next thing.
Oh,
Next
okay.
PTR I'll be trying bubble. I won't be using wings. I will literally just be holding my bubble, waiting
Hey,
just to see.
hey, Blaze, this guy's a question about state mandated weight loss.
I see. I see.
No, I'm just kidding.
I wonder. I wonder if I should. No, I probably would fall for that shit though.
That was so funny. I got such a good laugh out of that.
Oh, okay. So we got a couple questions here. We'll answer. Single lust on Hydross. What sort of DPS should be averaging? That's kind of a hard question, honestly. It really depends on like what
Yeah.
group you have.
I have no leader of the pack, and so I have a pretty average melee group.
Hmm.
Two warriors and a rogue and an enhance, and I did 2400 at my best, and that's with 2 chickens,
Yeah.
maybe three. So
I mean, think if you had
that's
think if you had a leader of the pack, bro.
I know. Be
Insane.
crazy.
Yeah.
My tank is a boomer. He's really, really good at the game, but he's a boomer. He likes Proud Warrior too much. So.
Um, difference for using Flask on non-demon bosses. What's the difference in not using Flask for those bosses that are not demons granting, that you don't want to be using 10 flasks a raid or something?
Oh, for non-demons.
So what you could do is you could do the elixir. You could just do elixirs if you're
It's
worried
like
about that.
It's like 7 DPS.
Yeah.
Whether you elixir or flask, it's like 7 DPS. So it's
Well,
not
that's
a huge
between
deal.
elixir and a flask, yeah?
Yeah, and then demon slaying is like having 2 flasks.
Yeah.
So you basically just take the DPS you gain from a flask and double it. Like that's not negotiable.
Yeah, I don't think so as well. I think it's insane. I think it's a great amount of DPS that we probably can't like give up, honestly.
Is it worth to nonstop twisting when you can for parses? No. No.
Where
You
was
always
that?
want to
Oh, yeah,
CS. You always want to CS when you have it available. If you start an auto attack and CS is either off cooldown or within a second of off cooldown, you're going to use it.
Your hunters will yell at you if Jow falls off.
Very good point. Very
They
good point.
will yell at you. They will meme you in the Discord. It will happen. I'm talking from experience.
What is the first expertise item a human should replace from P2BIS? That's a good question because when you get Shard of Contempt and Sunwell, you're going to have to drop a couple expertise items. I think the first thing you drop is gloves and
Yeah.
shoulders.
Yeah. I honestly
Keep
think it
your belt.
depends on what pieces you have to exchange them with.
I think you only need to drop one item, right? It does depend. But I think what you do ideally is you drop the gloves and that'll put you under the cap, I'm pretty sure. And then you craft the leatherworking gloves from Sunwell.
Gotcha.
So in
Yeah,
Sunwell, there's
yeah.
these really good BOE leatherworking gloves that all you need is one person to get the pattern, just like a red belt of battle, and they can make it for everybody else. And those are like very, very close to BIS for us. So I think that's ideal because you can get that really early on in Sunwell. I think that's your ideal first expertise item replacement. You're gonna lose expertise, but it's so worth it.
Yeah. I think whatever you've got available to exchange at that time, I think is the best play for sure.
Yeah. So
Okay, so
looks like we got like
last two questions we got here. Realistic ideal group for us. Enhancement Shaman, Feral Druid, Warrior, us, BM Hunter.
BM Hunter.
Yep.
You'll probably never get that though, because
You'll never get it.
You'll never get Leader of the Pack and a Ferocious Inspiration from a BM Hunter.
God, it would be
You'll
nice.
probably always have one of those replaced by a Rogue, which is all right. I mean,
oh God, please don't bring that
I know,
up.
I know you don't like Rogues, but
Yeah.
they do help the raid DPS. Like it's better to have one than it is to not have one on a single target boss.
S&J collects. I have that exact group. Get fucked. It's pretty lucky, man. Pretty lucky.
Awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome. Yeah, dude, that sounds awesome.
Maybe half of the time I get a Hunter, and I'm very happy to do so. A lot of the time I have 2 Warriors and a Rogue in my group. So
yeah. Ooh, GM Prio. Yeah. Okay. So how far does Ret fall off in DPS compared to other physical DPS classes that benefit better from Armor Pen? So we talked about this previously, and I think it's more so an overall damage problem rather than a solo boss single target problem, you know?
Yeah, I think that's true. I don't think we're gonna change that much on like a single target boss. I think we'll drop off a little bit relative to other classes. Like we're still gonna obviously go up. We're gonna go up by like 250 to 300 DPS from this phase till next phase.
Yep.
So I think that we're gonna get passed by Rogue, obviously, especially if they get Glaives. We're gonna definitely get passed by them. And Enhance will probably get neck and neck with us or slightly above us. I mean, I know that on average on the logs they're above us, but the high end that's like way ahead of Enhance. I think that's gonna close a bit, and I think they'll close the gap at the high end, and they'll stay above us average. But I don't think we're gonna fall too far. I think we're still gonna be one of the best utility classes, if you can call us that.
For sure.
And we're still going to do great. We're still going to be very competitive and one of the top performers on, like, not top 1, top 2, but top 5 performers on pretty much every fight. So
so I posted both of our YouTubes on there, in case people are wanting to look at more of our videos, offline and stuff like that, guys, this podcast is going to be posted to the YouTube. Are Rets gay? Possibly. I don't know.
That's a hard question to
That's
answer.
a hard question. Yeah, I mean it's
Could be
relative.
true.
Yeah, it's a relative question, I would say.
Maybe Reds are bi.
Bisexual twisting.
'Cause,
Yeah.
we twist. We go both ways.
That's true. We could have got. Well, actually, we only go one way now.
Oh well, yeah. I guess that is kind of true, isn't it?
Beaver, we definitely did talk about that earlier, so definitely check the VOD. We are, and dude, Serv, I had a lot of fun doing this with you, man.
I know we're hitting 3 hours. I would love to continue answering your questions, but we're hitting 3 hours. So
I gotta go get some food. Yeah.
Yeah. It has been great. If you guys want to see some content, obviously you can catch me on YouTube. My YouTube is just Surveillant. It's posted in the chat and link in the description, whatever. And when I post this VOD to my YouTube, I'll put Blaste's YouTube in my description as well.
Yep.
And I'll put Starforce's and everybody else's. And
Yeah.
it's been great. Next show we're gonna have Pride, the creator of the sim. So that'll be on New Year's Day. Definitely want to check that out if you had fun. And if you want to see more content like this, make sure you subscribe, follow, send some donations, maybe hit up our Patreons so we can keep making this stuff for you guys. It's a lot of fun, and honestly, this turned out much better. Not like I was thinking it was going to turn out poorly, but we talked about so much and we covered so many topics.
Yeah.
It was great, and I think anybody who is really into Ret is going to learn a lot.
Yeah, I think this is a great idea, and honestly, I'm having a lot of fun talking about it, and I'm looking forward to talking more about the sim in depth on New Year's Day for sure.
It's going to be a great episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, so make sure you take a dab for me, Blaze.
I will absolutely. I gotta kind of pick up all the stuff that I kind of kicked over in the trash can earlier.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
We gotta make sure to get that clip into the.
Yeah, probably.
So thanks again, guys. Thanks to everybody for watching and being here, and we'll see you at one of our next streams, or we'll see you at the next podcast.
Yep. So 2 weeks from now, we're gonna be doing episode 2 with Pride. And that's going to be probably around, let me try to do the math here.
4 or 5 p.m.?
4 or 5 p.m. Eastern time, maybe a little bit earlier. Depending on Pride, but I will be posting another little picture promo thing and stuff like that. But yeah, thank you guys. Thank you for watching.
Yeah, sorry if we aren't able to get to everybody's questions. We've gone for so long, so.
But all right, fellas. Peace out.
Catch you next time.